Good morning, pop culture. We are live. Today is Thursday, August 23rd, 2018. It's 7:45 in the morning, and it's time to discuss the world of pop culture. Now, I know a lot of shows talk about how this is going to be a big show, this is going to be a huge show to get you excited. But a lot of news has come up, and this morning's topic is going to be very interesting to discuss with all of you out there. So make sure that you're paying close attention, because we have one of the first images leaked from the Star Wars Episode 9 set. Now, this comes from those people that Ethan Van Sciver hate so much. And we'll be showing you guys that as soon as we get to our 200th viewer, which we're more than halfway there already. Also, we have a continuation of the James Bond situation. Yesterday, we talked about the director Danny Boyle leaving the franchise for creative differences, and now it looks like the writer has left as well because of a possible delay, and you'll never guess how long the delay could be. So yesterday's title, James Bond is Circling the Drain, was very, very apropos, because the James Bond franchise hasn't been in this much of a predicament since 1989 when Timothy Dalton left. And okay, to correct myself, it'd be like 93 when he left, so Pierce Brosnan could roll in. But we're in the same situation now. For legality reasons back then and for today, just piss poor management. And we got a few other things to talk about. So let's see where the numbers are. All right, we're at 134 viewers. So good morning to everyone who's here. I need a multi-pack of Stealing Solo. I could do something like that. You know, since you brought up Stealing Solo, let's see where we're at. By the way, folks, I'd like to thank everyone who's already jumped back to support Stealing Solo. We're already at 43% of our goal, $8,566 US. And for those of you who do not know, Stealing Solo has only been up for about 36 hours, not even 36 hours. So you want to talk about an incredibly passionate and supportive fan base. You guys are the best. So I'd just like to thank you once again. And yes, there we go. But Midnight Cherry TV, if you think I should do a multi-pack, I can do a multi-pack. I will just sit down and figure out exactly what I want to offer, how many I want to offer, and we can make that happen. Wow, we got a super chat super early in the morning from Jaron Ricewick. Thank you very much. Rey will replace 3PO as the new Ewok god. Well, that could be the case. So are the Ewoks or the characters going to say, "Are you a god?" And Rey just looks and goes, "Of course, I'm a woman." No. All joking aside, I expect something stupid to happen in Star Wars Episode 9. We swear to God we're not Return of the Jedi. Yes, thank you, Billy. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Brian. By the way, Brian, I'll be seeing you at Horror Hound in just a few short days. Thank you, Destructor. Yeah, I can work on a multi-pack thing. Here's the thing, guys. Much like World Class Bullshitters is a big community where I make content, you guys give me ideas, tell me what you want to see, and we work together to make stuff. I can do the same thing with Stealing Solo. Now, the story and the art and all that stuff are on me, but if you guys have ideas for a perk system that you would like to see or something that you think would be beneficial to the campaign, gladly, I can alter that or add to it. So if a multi-pack thing seems like something that you guys would find beneficial, I'll gladly go ahead and do that. Oh, Robert T's working and lurking this early in the morning. How many of you out there working and lurking? I mean, it's only 7:48 here, so I assume a lot of people that listen to this show are on their way to work. And right now, school's back in session. So while it saddens me to think this, I'm sure there are a few of our listeners that are just getting ready to go back to high school. So that never sounds too fun. I will alter the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further, though. It's 10 a.m. Central. Yeah, I've been hearing about the Crunchyroll drama too. If you guys want to fill me in, we can talk about that a little more. But we are almost to 194 viewers. And again, thank you to all 196 backers in 36 hours, not even. We're almost at $9,000. You guys are incredible. And I guess you really like the content we put out here on the channel. So personally, for me, I'd like to thank each and every one of you. Ooh, Kylo's nipples were the best part of The Last Jedi. All right, so we'll talk about stealing Solo later on in the show. Let's talk about what you all came to see. This image from makingstarwars.net.com.org .edu. So now there's an article that goes with this. A sneak peek at the Falcon on the set of Star Wars Episode 9. Jason Ward from makingstarwars.net has received some new intel from one of his many Bothan spies in the field regarding Episode 9. It appears that the Millennium Falcon is parked out in the jungle from the image below, but Jason has even more details. Read below. There were rumors circulating recently that Star Wars Episode 9 would be filming in Black Park. Photographs were coming in showing what appeared to be a secretive film production, with behavior indicating that it could be for the last film in the current Star Wars trilogy. Let's hope it's the last Star Wars trilogy ever. A person today has sent over what appears to be the first image of a glimpse of the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars Episode 9. If the photos are what they appear to be, the value is that it confirms a jungle/forest set, so we've heard rumors about at Pinewood Studios. The sources of the photos say that the area is covered up now. I'm told that when there is a film set in Black Park, there will be security guards posted at the set, and the set is pretty open. This one is different. This person said, the trouble they are going to with fencing this in is ridiculous and actually will just attract attention. If this all checks out, it is hard to argue the source's word, as it clearly did. It does look like the Falcon is out there in Black Park to me in these photos. So you guys can see the photo. I don't normally start a show out like this, but today is a special occasion. I told you guys, I told everyone, they're going to find a way to rip off Return of the Jedi. So what do? They return to Endor Light. I mean, really? Desert planet, not ice salt planet, and now a jungle planet. Everything that you can say about J.J. Abrams and the lack of creativity, the lack of originality, is 100% accurate and true about this movie. I mean, are we looking at the same image? If this is 100% real, and why would making Star Wars, who really doesn't have much of a foothold left anymore, go out of the way to make some bullshit up? But I mean, this looks just like Endor. Come on. What is the purpose besides milking your nostalgia gland? It's right next to your asshole. They've already burned you once. Look at what they're going to do to you now. I hope people look at this image and realize, same old shit. You know, there's a chant in wrestling. When you wrestle a match that's the same and boring, they go, same old shit, or this is boring. That's what I want everyone to chant when people talk about Star Wars Episode 9. Jaron Ricewick, thank you very much. Am I the only one who's sick of the Millennium Falcon? It should have gone down with Chewie and Han in Episode 7, perhaps fighting Starkiller Base. Jaron, I have said that before, and I will say it again and stand by your super chat. The Falcon and Chewbacca have no purpose outside of being with Han Solo. They should have all went down in a Bon Jovi-like blaze of glory. Excuse me. They're only milking it because they want to be able to produce more toys of it. And Chewbacca, what is he? Rey's sidekick now? Rey is Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Han Solo rolled into one. That sounds like a Kiri Hart wet dream. This here, though, people are saying it could be Kashyyyk, it could be this. Again, it's the third film in a trilogy of Star Wars, which the other two have already mimicked the other films mercilessly. Now they're going to a jungle planet, just like in Return of the Jedi. Why not a water planet? Why not Mustafar-like planet? I mean, we've only seen that at the duel of Episode 3 and Rogue One. They're going to try to evoke that feeling of, oh, this is like Return of the Jedi. There'll probably be a speeder bike chase. I expect there to be some sort of resistance base hidden in the jungle. Surprise, surprise, it's Endor, and surprise, surprise, it's goddamn, they're gonna have to blow it up. Yeah, JJ plagiarism. Could it be the Wookiee planet Kashyyyk? Well, we've seen Kashyyyk in Revenge of the Sith. Very well could be. But what's the purpose of going to the Wookiee planet? The point is, it's not even if the story, for the sake of the story, it's that they're taking this Star Wars trilogy and they're trying to like hit you in a way that you don't realize it. So the first one, you start out on that desert planet. Hell, it actually starts out with the Star Destroyer, just like the first one. And you go to that desert planet that's not Tatooine, and you meet somebody that's not Luke, but looks like Luke. Then they go off on this adventure and they meet Han and the old wise wizard and stuff like that. And there's a Death Star and there's a lightsaber duel, and then there's a trench run, if you will, and it blows up and everyone ends happy. So they basically copy Star Wars. Then they go to part 2 where the good guys are on the run and the Empire, aka the First Order, is behind them, chasing them. And, you know, they're down, they're being beaten. And the main character is off on a secluded planet training with an old Jedi who's been run off by the dark side or other reasons. And then that person goes to face the villain, but doesn't win. And then there's a big battle on a planet with walkers and speeders, and they have to touch the ground and say, this is salt, not snow. And then they go and they run off with their tails between their legs. But there's hope that they could come back in the next one. And now this one is going to be on a desert or a jungle planet, much like the last time, where, you know, they go to find the hidden fortress to destroy the shield generator on the desert or the jungle planet. And then they go and fight, and the bad guy is defeated by the hero because the hero's journey is complete, except in this version, the hero's journey never started. Everything that Rey needed to learn, she already knew. There was nothing interesting. Yeah, the First Order is nowhere near as menacing as the Empire. I'm not arguing that, but you have to admit they try to hit you with that, where like the uniforms are the same, they're still using Star Destroyers and TIE fighters and all these other things. They want to sell you. Guys, remember, these movies, unlike the original Star Wars, because people say, well, the original Star Wars was made to sell toys. Look, the first Star Wars movie didn't have merchandise when it came out. It took till 1978 for Kenner to get the toy line out. And then the ships came later. Hell, the Death Star came out in 1979 along with the Millennium Falcon. So it took almost 2 years from the movie to get a Millennium Falcon toy. Yeah, they fixed that, rectified that by Empire, and then by Return of the Jedi, there were things that were made just to sell toys. But this one is guilty of that. The First Order equals Kmart Empire. Yeah, well, Kmart's not even around here anymore, so I agree with that statement. This makes me want Jar Jar Binks back. I won't say it makes me want Jar Jar Binks back, but it makes me want some of the visually interesting aspects of the prequels to come back. Say what you will about Lucas, the visual storytelling in the prequels was very good. Naboo was different from anything we'd ever seen. The Gungan City was different than anything we'd ever seen. We had Camino, Coruscant. I mean, the city planet. That's something you probably dreamed about doing in the original Star Wars, but never could due to technology limits. They, what else did they have in the prequels? They had the one that was the tiered level. I can't think of it. Not Andu Prime. That was from the video game. Fuck, I can't think of the planet from episode 3. Point is, they always did something new and interesting. The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey says, everyone worries about the possibility of the original trilogy being remade. Too late. The sequel trilogy is the remake. And much like most remakes, they pale in comparison to the original. Utapau. Thank you, everyone. Utapau is the name of the planet I couldn't think of. It just popped out of my mind. It's not Johnny Wishbone. But Utapau was different and unique. And, I mean, you had a thing where they were on an animal chasing down a speeder through multiple levels. That was all cool and unique shit. And how does the battle end? Obi-Wan Kenobi shoots the dude in the heart and it catches fire. It's not like any other Star Wars battle where somebody just gets shot and falls down. No, he gets shot, his heart catches fire, his eyes explode out of his head. It was cool and it was gruesome. Hell, even if we go back and look at the Order 66 execution, all of those planets were unique and different. You had that cloudy-looking planet. You had that one that had all those weird colorful flowers. You had all kinds of different stuff. Kashyyyk, instead of fighting in the jungles of Kashyyyk that looked just like Endor, they fought it on the beach to look like World War II and the battle at Normandy and stuff like that. So, I mean, there is a possibility of taking this giant, expansive universe and going beyond what we know to milk our nostalgia gland one last time. J.J. Abrams, for anyone that ever tells you, You're a truly great visionary and filmmaker. I say you're full of it, dude. Yeah, Dietrich, Lucas gave us new things. Some of them weren't good. Some of them were bad. But still, they were unique and original. The Battle of Geonosis was damn cool. I mean, a Star Wars fight in a Coliseum. They were able to take these ancient things. See, when Star Wars came out, and it was much like the Joseph Campbell hero's journey, they were pulling from other sources, you know, the epics, the Kurosawa film, stuff like that, and they put it in a Star Wars setting, and they didn't take too many risks. When the prequels came out, they're like, hey, how about Star Wars in ancient Rome? Well, they found a way to do that. Or how about Star Wars on a rain planet? Stuff like that. I firmly stand by there has to be meetings out there. How much can we make this like Return of the Jedi without making it obviously Return of the Jedi? Like, is that JJ's mystery box inside is a copy of the original trilogy with like a post-it note that says things to change? That's it. That's it. Midnight Cherry TV, thank you very much. New planet is now known as Derp Muftine. All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. Midnight Cherry TV has christened this new planet as Derp Muftine. If you guys agree with that, press 1. So now we're going to, let's see. So will Captain Phasma, do you think she'll appear? I know people are talking about it in the chat. Do you think they'll have Captain Phasma appear to fight Finn? I'm guessing that Finn and Rose Tico are going to be on the jungle planet fighting the ground war for Derp Muftine, while Poe Dameron is up in outer space because he's almost like Wedge, but he's not cool at all. And then we'll have what's her face, Rey, off with Kylo Ren trying to redeem him or getting pregnant. I don't know exactly how Return of the JJ is going to go. Thank you, John, for that one. I don't know exactly how that film is going to go outside of it's exactly like Return of the Jedi. 45 seconds of Phasma. If Phasma's a clone, I'm going to be pissed off. Pissed off. I mean, like somebody once said, she's only good for the trailer. She doesn't add anything to the story. The thing she did add to the story, they took away. She is used, it was Mahler that said this, she is used only in promotional materials to talk about the female aspect of Star Wars. Well, folks, there was always a female aspect to Star Wars. A very good female character. And that's why they can't let her go. So they're going to have to resurrect her digitally for this new movie. J.J. Abrams is the key to all this. Wink. He is the... J.J. Abrams is that Jenga piece that once you pull it out, everything falls apart. And that's what happened in 2015. And we're still trying to pick up the pieces. Rian Johnson is a round-headed peg that you try to shove in a Jenga game, but it just doesn't work because you don't put round in Jenga. There'll be another furry race called Woke, Ewok Rearranged. By the way, you talked about Woke and Ewoks. Let me pull this up because I was waking up this morning, and as I do, I looked at my phone. And you know those on this day in history on your Facebooks? Well, this popped up, and I thought this was quite interesting. So it fits with the show. So let's have a good laugh. So as you're on your screen right here, we have Ewok AF, or Ewok as fuck. Emperor Palpatine is a lizard person. A gold robot isn't a deity. The Force is diluted by chemtrails. Taxation is theft. So this was back from 2016, and they were already making the jokes about Ewoks. And now Star Wars is way, way woker than this. There ain't no way. Yeah, Snoke will return. JJ won't leave that alone. We should play a game here on the channel where we'll take bets not for money, where we're going to try to guess how Snoke returns. I'm going to guess Snoke will be the first Sith ghost, and Rey will literally just swing her lightsaber at the air and fight a ghost. Ewok or Eli? Ewoks have purple hair. Do Ewoks have 28 genders? I don't know. You'll have to ask them. But tell me that one, this isn't funny, and two, tell me it doesn't. That other picture from making Star Wars .net doesn't remind you of the Return of the Jedi set. I've never been to the UK, so I don't know what Black Park is, but I'm sure it is similar enough to where they filmed Return of the Jedi in California that they can pass it off. Just need giant redwood trees or something like that. Hell, they could even CGI in a redwood tree if they can't go film it in America. Ewoks have man buns. Rey won't need a lightsaber. She has the books from Luke's exile and will be more powerful than you can possibly imagine. That is true that she doesn't have a lightsaber. Again, there we go, too. She's going to build a new lightsaber that will debut in Episode 9. Another similarity to Return of the Jedi. Now, I would be impressed if they didn't give her a lightsaber and she fought the entire movie with that damn staff. And Kylo Ren is the only one with a lightsaber. That's not going to happen. He can't have a cool tool. Jeff, take bets with the High Council. Plan 9. Losers have to drink butter soda. I think we should even make it worse than butter soda, Amy. We should make somebody drink a whole pound of straight butter, melted down. Let's make it real here on the channel. Will the lightsaber vibrate? It probably if Rey has a green lightsaber in this next movie, and then they try to give you some bullshit explanation why a green lightsaber was used because it's more powerful in the Force or some garbage like that, I may have an aneurysm. I mean, does everyone out there know the real reason why Luke Skywalker had a green lightsaber in Return of the Jedi? It's not really, it's not story-based at all, and it's not as interesting as most people would think. The reason Luke has a green lightsaber is because in Return of the Jedi, he fought outdoors, and the blue didn't look good against the blue sky. So if you go watch the original trailer and a lot of promotional images, they had Luke had a blue lightsaber. That's why the first wave of toys have Luke with a blue lightsaber. And then eventually they changed it right before the movie came out, and they also changed the toy a few months later. So yeah, Luke had a blue lightsaber originally, and it was only green because it looked cool outdoors. So thank you, Minuteman Sam. I appreciate that very much. Ceiling Solo is kicking ass. Well, since we've been on the air, we've actually had a few more backers. Again, thank you. And I don't know what to say. Oh my God, we're at 8636. So it just keeps climbing up. But listen, we had a super chat roll in from our friend DeMille Jr. Luke comes back by possessing a sea cow with force skills. I only hope that in the middle of the battle, one of those giant space mammal titty things just flops out of the sky. He's like, it's Luke. I'm back. New body, baby. And there we go. The green woke lightsaber is coming. I can feel a disturbance in the Force. Well, I'm going to feel a disturbance in my heart as, you know, I think it's my heart breaking and it's actually gas from all the shit they're shoveling. It just angers me to think about this movie. Cesario Japan says, Rey's new lightsaber will have 3 settings. She'll have a retractable blade, an expandable blade. Oh, her new lightsaber is going to be like Inspector Gadget. Or, you know, insert sex toy joke here. Luke had a green lightsaber because he was an eco-warrior. Maybe. It was better for the planet. Less UV light coming from that lightsaber. You know, it'd be funny is if they made a Star Wars spoof where the Jedi all stopped using lightsabers because it was bad for the ozone layer. There we go. A Star Wars global warming story. Oh, the lightsabers did it. The lightsabers did it. Rey will have a rainbow saber, bub. How would that work? Would it like fluctuate colors? Like would it like pulse, or would it just be one like flashing thing? I'm sure one of our listeners out there could. Oh, we should get Ivan Ortega to make that into a video. But then again, some would say that's, you know, offensive towards the LGBT 1000 community. And I'll say no one here on this channel or that has ever appeared on this channel has any problem with people of different orientations. It's just a joke about a lightsaber. It doesn't mean anything more. Mareth Deoline, thank you very much. What's the news? Palpatine's residual dark side essence leaving a wound in the Force, or Death Star debris having fallen down, impacting on Endor. Let's see. That would be the dumbest thing ever. Imagine if they somehow did that Palpatine shit. Ugh. Death Star debris falling on Endor. Well, do you think that 30 years would have been enough to clean that shit up? I mean, I know people want to try to tie everything in Star Wars together, but the Death Stars are usually pretty much vaporized. And wouldn't the debris, burn up on impact? Or once it hits the atmosphere? And also, wouldn't that shit have rained down like right after the battle? I'm pretty sure Leia would have had some of the rebels go out and clean that up. Maybe they'll put a comic book out about it so we can find out what exactly happened. Garbage Crew, an Endor story where it's just a group of people who are like, oh, it's our job. We didn't even get to party with the Ewoks last night. We're up picking up Imperial officer finger parts and stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled some stupid shit like that. This is Disney Star Wars. I don't even know why I'm surprised at the things they do anymore. Maybe because deep down in my heart, I want Star Wars to be great. But it's not. It's Disney. It's J.J. Abrams. I have a mystery box for you, J.J. Luke Farrakh. Excuse me, Luke. I apologize. Can't wait to see Rey pick up Luke's green lightsaber left in his cabin by Dummy Johnson and use it better than him, even flying his old X-Wing with R2-D2. Well, Luke, if that happens, I will look to the person next to me and say, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. I think what we should do is change the title of this trilogy to Entitlement, a Star Wars story. And it's just a picture of Rey's fucked up face with her eyes open and shit. And she's entitled to everything. Well, Rey, you got to work for this. And the only thing you worked for is to steal some parts from an old Star Destroyer. Well, you earned your bread. Well, Rey, here's the Millennium Falcon. Why? Because plot. Here's Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. Why? Because plot. Oh, wait, I mean nostalgia. Here's Chewbacca. Why? Because we can sell his action figures to kids. Here's Luke's green lightsaber. Here's Yoda. Here's all these things. Why? Because plot. In subverting our expectations, or attempting to subvert our expectations, Rian Johnson conveniently glossed over some of the biggest problems, therefore coming off as a director who's trying to make excuses for the previous garbage. All these directors are guilty. Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams. And I don't think I'll find anyone out there who disagrees with me about these directors being guilty of laziness, piss poor direction, and just mean-spiritedness towards the fans, and the desire to make a quick buck. When you make a product, it shows if you put in the time and the effort. We've all done stuff. We've all made stuff that we're proud of. Disney doesn't do that. They just take the quick approach. It's like, hey, we have December's movie coming up soon. We should start working on it. It's like October. They're like, all right, we're just going to copy the last shit and CGI everything in overnight. That's where we are right now. Good morning to everyone out there who's just coming into the chat or having crazy great numbers. While we're at such a high number, let me tell you guys this. I'm standing corrected, there will be a Good Morning Pop Culture tomorrow. I originally said there wouldn't be because I was going to leave for the convention, but I have found out that Nick will be here in town by noon. So we'll be leaving here by noon in Cincinnati to get to Indianapolis, which is only about a 2-hour drive. So if Channel Dad Brian Lape's driving, it could be like 6 hours, but either way, I'll be here tomorrow for Good Morning Pop Culture, and I may even do a little bit of a live stream in the car just for the hell of it. So for anyone out there that was thinking, oh man, Jeff's not going to be on air this Friday, no, I will be. I have found out my schedule, and I will be live tomorrow, so get excited for that. David Cook, thank you very much for your very generous super chat. Episode 9 in a nutshell. Watch the end of Empire. Watch Jedi just replace Death Star with a mouse head, Mickey. Haha. Now, before woke Disney. I would actually appreciate if Disney Star Wars was so self-aware that the next Death Star was just a giant Mickey head. I would laugh at that. They would be so self-aware that I couldn't do anything but laugh and appreciate the humor. Will they? No, because they're so serious. They think we're continuing the legacy. I mean, if you thought that Episode 7 was incredible because we took the exact same lens from 1976 and used it to shoot the scenes on Jakku, well, wait till you see that we got the toilet paper that Harrison Ford used on the set of Return of the Jedi, and we're going to use that to decorate the set of this shit show. I absolutely believe that they're going to be pulling some more of that shit in the PR department. I mean, we had the director and the Jedi come out, which was a big mistake underneath it all, because The Last Jedi, terrible, terrible movie, but they showed their hand really early. You're going to see the most preachy, saccharine bullshit that you'll ever witness with the marketing and the making of this film. I mean, you're going to get the books that talk about the respect and the legacy and the love of the fans, and you're going to get those old dudes that see the books and go, well, maybe those people on the internet were wrong. You know, they're just this vocal minority. They really care about us as fans. It's like, wake up, guys. Just because it's in a book published by Disney doesn't mean it's the truth. I mean, look at the expanded universe. We already knew the truth, and they killed it. But I wouldn't be surprised if we have all that kind of stuff happen, where they're just going overly apologetic and thankful to the fan base. It's like, hey, guys, thank you so much. We couldn't have done this without you. And then secretly they're thinking, please let them forget the time we called them, you know, a hate group and a vocal minority and all these terrible things. They're going for a scatter shot of attacks or hatred, and it's not working because you've hit a lot of people now, people that were innocent. You know, there are a lot of women that listen to this show that dislike your fucking movie, guys. You can't call them a bunch of racist, sexist bigots because it goes against your narrative. You can't call me an angry white man. You can't call a lot of people angry white Star Wars fans. Why? Because we're just fans of something that you've ruined. But thank you very much, David Cook. Dion says, I made a goddamn kid and a character that hates horses. Well, Dion, the next Star Wars movie has space horses just for you. People want me to show up to the Philippines. Maybe one day, man. Maybe one day. I know a couple people that will want me to show up there. Cesare Japan, thank you very much. How would a rainbow saber work? Wait, this is Disney. They'll find a way to turn Kyber gem core material for lightsabers into a glowing rainbow. What was that toy, Rainbow Bright? I know Ethan's doing his spoof Rainbow Brute, but a Rainbow Bright lightsaber, or a glowworm lightsaber, it's just like... Zzz. Also, Rey doesn't have very much training with a lightsaber. She's going to get her shit pushed in, because she hasn't had a lightsaber all this time. Do you think the first thing she did was go out and build one after episode 8's debacle on Crate? No, she probably, you know, walked around smugly. I defeated Kylo Ren. No, you didn't. He just killed Luke. Well, I did this. No, you didn't. Rey's lightsaber will be limp. You can get one of those from Ultra Sabers. Ultra Sabers are cool, but they're expensive. I don't have a desire to spend, you know, $500 on a fake lightsaber. For $500, I better get one that can at least cut bread or something and toast it. It's sad that Timothy Zahn created better supporting characters than Disney's Star Wars main characters. Is it sad? Yeah, it is sad. Underneath it all, you wish that... Well, here's the thing. Writers are writers. Disney has the propensity, the money, if you will, to hire the best of everything. That's one nice thing about when you're a giant corporation. If you want to make the best product out there, you can. Look at the Avengers. Great special effects, really great directing, solid story, and a great producer. Disney has that money. Well, Marvel has made that money, but Disney could funnel that money into Star Wars, but they're worried about real sets, practical effects, the lens from the original, CGIing a dead Leia, pizza rolls. There's so many things that they're focused on outside of giving you the best story. You know, it's not a bad thing to do a little thing that writers call rewrites. I've done rewrites. Everyone here has been to school. You guys have written papers in school. There's a thing called a rough draft. That's what Rian Johnson lives and dies by. But sometimes going back and refining the drafts are where the magic comes from. Like Star Wars, there was a draft of the original where Luke was a girl. There was a draft where Obi-Wan Kenobi was not in it, I think. Or no, Han Solo was green with gills. There are just different versions of these movies out there, and it took refining to find iconic Luke and Han and Leia. But no, they don't do that anymore. But they could, they should. They won't. Billy Ritchie says, can I get a free copy of Stealing Solo if I get a horse into Dion's house, put a bunch of mannequins in his kitchen eating breakfast when he wakes up? Yeah. Billy, if you can do that and film it for me, I will give you a free crate of those comics. But you better do it within the next, month and a half or 2 months, because once Stealing Solo goes away, like Ethan and everybody else, my story's gone forever. So better get that taken care of, because I'm only going to order enough to cover the orders, and maybe a few for myself as a thing like, hey, this is my first accomplishment in the comic book world. Timothy Rick says, after the BS that Adam Driver put about the Klan rallies at the time of his hometown in Indiana, I'm fucking done with anything he's in. I didn't hear anything about that, which I don't, I want to like Adam Driver because I see him in other stuff and he seems self-aware about the humor. But I don't know. When he goes and says shit like that, it makes me worried. Jeremy Pearman, welcome back, my friend. Speaking of hate groups, did you see Jeff Lemire's tweet about Comicsgate? Comicsgate is based on fear, intolerance, bigotry, and anger. Why does the name Jeff Lemire sound familiar? He's probably a very prolific writer that is hasn't been putting out much work lately. I disagree that Comicsgate is based on fear, intolerance, bigotry, and anger. Let's go back and listen or look at last night. I appeared on a Comicsgate stream. Ethan has been promoting the shit out of Stealing Solo and saying all kinds of nice things about the book. First off, if Comicsgate was based on intolerance, you wouldn't have had me. You wouldn't have had Mike S. Miller, who's part Hawaiian or Japanese. You wouldn't have had a diverse group of people. It wasn't a group of white guys on that panel. So the intolerance thing is bullshit. Ethan, who we can call the head of Comicsgate, he's the most well-known artist on Comicsgate, is not intolerant whatsoever. He's an open guy who's very friendly, very fun, and he's as nice to me off air as he is on air, and we've talked, and he's always, willing to help me out. So if he was, who is the leader of Comicsgate, essentially was those things that Jeff Lemire said, I wouldn't be involved. That's just not true. Those are lies. Bigotry, again, no bigotry. A very diverse group of people. They want to talk about diversity. This is natural diversity, like the podcast that you guys listen to with me and my friends. It's a very naturally diverse group of guys who have stuff to say about entertainment. It's not forced where it's like, hey, I never sat down and thought to myself, when I start this show, I need to have this shade of brown guy and this shade of brown guy. No, it was just what is natural and what feels right. Yeah, but it is based on anger. Anger that drives us to do what we do, because comic book companies are so bad. If you listen to what the Comicsgate stuff is about, it's how to save comics. Mike Miller is always talking about how he can save it for the next generation of people. They want comic books to survive. They want people to be able to read these types of stories forever. We don't want Superman and Spider-Man to only exist in film and video games. No, Spider-Man and Superman both have rich histories on the printed page. And those at Comicsgate or in Comicsgate are just trying to preserve that. It's not anything bad. It's, we love comics. We want to tell our stories, and we want people to pick up on that stuff. It's not really hard to read. Just because some people have different political ideologies, they're terrible comic book creators. No, that's bullshit. Don't believe the hype. Don't listen to that kind of stuff. Let's see. Good morning, Jeff. Sorry I slept in yesterday morning. Wasn't with you. Oh, we have a big job interview today. Good luck. Everybody, Gola82's got a big job interview today. So Gola, from me and 500 other viewers out there, you're going to do awesome today, my friend. You're going to go in there with all the confidence of everyone here on the channel, rolled into a ball, all concentrated just for you. You're going to go in there, and you're going to get that damn job. And then you're going to come back here, and you're going to tell me all about it tomorrow morning on Good Morning Pop Culture. So you can do it. I believe in you. Everyone believes in you, man. Press 1 if you believe in Gola, because I do. You know what? Check that chat right now. There's a 1 from me. Gola, you got the job, dude. Jeff Lemire is a Canadian artist who worked on Animal Man at a DC comic. Oh, I know. Okay. I know Animal Man. Ethan killed our boy Zach, so I guess he is the leader now. Timothy Riggs, I'll check that out on Facebook. Thank you very much. Yep, see, look at all types of 1s there for you, dude. You're gonna get that job. You're gonna rock it out, man. So just relax. You got it. Reed Palancha. Rey goes to night school for Jedi. This is why nobody sees her get skills and experience. It's in the big reveal. Star Wars graduation. I'm going to night school, and I'm going to be somebody. That's right. She's going to be Mayor. Mayor Ray Nobody. I like the sound of that. That's what's going to happen. Ray becomes the mayor of Endor. I almost called it Ewokville. I want episode 9 to have Ray with those big glasses and like a Starbucks cup. And it's not like I'm drinking coffee out of a Starbucks cup, just saying. But Reed Palancia, that is a good possibility. Maybe we'll have a montage. We've had all these other stupid things from Star Wars that don't work, but we're going to have a montage to push it to the limit of Rey, reading the books, mental gymnastics, all that kind of stuff. I believe in Rey. I believe in Rey. Will a silver, will a silver and black movie work? Probably not. Does anyone here know who Silver Sable is? I'd say of the 507 viewers, maybe 20 of you are aware of Silver Sable, and say 10 of you have read a comic book about her. Black Cat is a little more well-known thanks to the Spider-Man the Animated Series, but overall, that is just a desperate attempt from Sony to milk the Marvel franchise. Would be funny is if Marvel kind of collapsed after Captain Marvel and Infinity War Part 2, and then Sony has all these movies in the pipeline that no one cares about. So Sony, your lazy-ass attempts out there are only going to hurt yourself in the long run. Jesus A. Sabalos Jr., you think you should put in a tier for like 50 to 100 books for shops to order? Also, will World Class Bullshitters of the High Council be at New York Comic Con? Okay, so I should do a tier for 50 to 100 books for shops to order. I will look into that. I'll see. I didn't realize that was a thing. I kind of followed the Ethan price structure because, to be honest, I want more people to read this type of thing, but I don't want comic shops or other places to, bastardize the story and treat it something that it isn't. So maybe secretly I don't want it to be next to Marvel books. But look, like I said earlier in the show, I am open to check out and do tier stuff. Somebody actually said I should do a tier where I draw people into the book. Like I said yesterday, there are about 10 spots in the first page alone where I could draw people in. So if that's something you guys would want, we can make that happen. It's all up to you. I will float those ideas out on Twitter and here, and if there's enough of a positive response, I will go alter those tiers starting on Tuesday when I'm back in the office. Also, none of the World Class Bullshitters or the High Council will be at New York Comic Con. I apologize. I don't want to break your heart, Jesus, but the World Class some of us will be in New York in April, the week before Star Wars Celebration for WrestleMania. But if enough people from the New York City area are looking to meet up and hang out, we can go to a pizza place. We can do a live stream together. We can just hang out. If that's something you want to do, I will definitely give you guys a month's notice to where I'm going to be in New York / New Jersey, and we'll just hang out. We'll make it a thing. I don't have any problems taking a day away from wrestling and just hanging out with you guys. And I know New York is such a big place. I guarantee you we got hundreds of people in New York that listen to this show. Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey says, did you get a chance to look up Muffin the Mule? I didn't. Let me look it up now. This is the last day I have to use this terrible phone. Switched service provider, so goodbye, Sprint. You've been okay service providers, but when you've had the same phone for 4 years, that shit definitely... Planned obsolescence is a real thing. See, Back to the Future quotes are awesome. You damn right they are. I was actually looking up Back to the Future stuff before the show started, and I played The Power of Love to get me in the mood. Because I love doing this show. Sometimes you need something to pump you up in the morning. And Back to the Future and a cup of coffee is what I had today. Now, here we go. Muffin the Mule. What is it? Muffin the Mule is a British television program. Muffin the Mule is a puppet character in British television program for children. The puppet had been made in 1933 for Hogarth Puppets. This is weird. This is really weird. Oh, we should get one of these for Dion. Ew, there's also an animated version. Ew, the Muffin the Mule puppet is... Ew, that's all I can say. Okay, Silver Sable did appear in the Spider-Man cartoon, so the 94 one. Okay, was she in what, 1 or 2 episodes? All I know is that Black Cat was a pretty prominent part, especially with Morbius, and then was it the Secret Six? It's funny and sad at the same time how much a lot of people's knowledge of Spider-Man comes from the 94 show. but at least it's somewhat accurate to the source material. And the Raimi stuff copies the cartoon a lot more than people realize. Stop buying Android phones. No, I don't do Apple products because the only one I ever bought broke in my pocket, so I'm not an Apple guy. Let's see. No, iPhone is cool. So is Galaxy Note 9. Will you get the Beverly Hills Cop 4K Blu-ray when it comes out? Of course I will. Shit, I got it on Betamax, Laserdisc, VHS, DVD, digital, 8mm tape, Philips CDI. The list keeps going on. The only format I don't own is the Disc Vision. What is the one called? It has a specific name, and it exists, and I've seen it, but it's every copy I find is dirty and beat up. And if I'm buying Beverly Hills Cop stuff, it's got to be as close to mint condition as possible. So as soon as I find that, then I'll have all the formats. Timothy, we'll talk about your phone situation at Horror Hound. I'll have my new phone at Horror Hound, so you'll see it. I'm gonna live stream with it. Yep, Betamax is right. I have multiple copies of Beverly Hills Cop on Betamax. I have the original release, and I have the collector's edition release in the gold foil box. You know what, King Eric? We'll do that in a minute. Let me check that out real quick. Tarazan Alk-Barney. So, you know what? I don't have bad comic book art for today. We'll just look up something really weird and bizarre. An iPod breaks in your pocket and then you decide not to get one again. Well, if you spend a couple $100s on a product and it breaks that quickly, I also wouldn't buy a Mazda car because I've driven them and they suck. It's just called, consumerism. If I buy a product and it breaks on me, I don't get a new one if it breaks in an unreasonable manner. Like if I drop it or do something stupid, that's on me. But I've had 4 or 5 Android smartphones, and I've never had one this long, hence the reason why this one's shit in the bed. But one iPod Touch 4th generation breaks right away? No, it doesn't. Plus, I don't like the restrictions you have on an iPhone. I'm just not an Apple person. Never been for me. Don't own an Apple computer. Never have, never will. I like Windows. It's just who I am. Have I ever seen the new Spider-Man show? I watched a video on YouTube about it, but I didn't want to watch it. I don't have cable, and I thought Ultimate Spider-Man was dog shit, so I figured, why support the next Spider-Man show? Jeff, casting for Comicsgate the movie. Would you like Vince Vaughn to play you? Vince Vaughn is cool. Vince Vaughn and I are about the same height. I'm a lot younger than Vince Vaughn, though. I think by almost 20 years, if not more. But sure, Vince Vaughn can play me. I think he's funny in Wedding Crashers, so why not? Oh, and I love him in Anchorman, too. Let's see. Mazda is Japanese, and they were linked to Ford at one point. I do have a Note 4, Jesus. That's the phone I've had for a long time. But like I said, planned obsolescence is the key to all of this. Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man is dog shit. I'm not into that at all. I watched it. It's dumb. The fourth wall breaks. This isn't Family Guy. This is Spider-Man. I'm not saying we need Batman the Animated Series levels of drama, but we need something to hang our hats on in terms of quality storytelling. That's the key to all this shit, quality storytelling. If we can keep you engaged for 22 minutes, we've achieved our goal. And sell you toys, well, we've achieved our real goal. I should be played by Batista. Batista with a hairpiece, sure. Oh, you had dinner with Vince Vaughn. You'll tell me about it at Horror Hound. I can't wait, Adam. I can't wait. Liquid Metal Pro, I like Anchorman 2 as well. No, I like both Anchorman films. I own Anchorman, the deluxe edition on Blu-ray, and then I own Anchorman 2, the number 2, on DVD I got from Kroger real cheap. Yeah, Insanity Method. Yeah, The Rock plays me. I like it. Wild Warlock, welcome back. All 4 of these Ewoks still show more emotion on their faces than Daisy Ridley. You damn right. You don't even need the CGI eye blinking to understand that, you know, the one in the front has seen some shit. The one behind that one has given up on shit. But the yellowish one still has some faith left in humanity. And the one with the hood over its eye realizes it just doesn't care. It's going to die today. Marvel hasn't done well animated stuff. Thank God for DC animated movies. Marvel's last great animated project was probably Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Isn't that the name of the show? The one that had a kick-ass theme song and only lasted for 2 seasons. That was great. That and the Spectacular Spider-Man. If they would have continued those shows to today, which you could have, because why not? You would have had a really strong starting point for Marvel animation. But now they're just stupid, lazy Disney programs. They punted Baxter. I love that grant so much. Why not Ewoks? They copy everything else. They really do. Has press 1 if you didn't get to see the image from Star Wars Episode 9. I know the viewer count fluctuates, so I can't see who shows up and who leaves besides just an arbitrary number. But if you guys didn't get a chance to see it, press 1 and I'll just show it again. I don't know how I feel about it, man. Outside of this sucks. Okay, a lot of ones are popping up. I'll show this to you because I got it here. It's just as interesting as that picture of Ewoks. Not at all. So here we go. This came from Making Star Wars. We have the Millennium Falcon. We also have a jungle planet. Now, watch Making Star Wars come out and say, "Oh, guys, this was just fake. We were lied to." Alec Munoz says, Howard the Duck posters were the best. Alec, thank you very much for your super chat. I actually had a discussion with someone on Facebook about that because somebody just goes, wouldn't it be funny if Howard the Duck was on movie posters? And I said, somebody did that today on Twitter. And then some other guy, a third party, rolled in and said, here they are, and shared them all. So that was pretty funny. Making Star Wars is sadly reliable. Okay. Well, there we go. They don't want to hurt their credibility in this ever-waning world. Where's the Predator? Right behind you. Did I manage to get the James Bond coin? No, I haven't even thought about getting the James Bond coin, to be honest with you. I've been real busy. Like I said, Tuesday was all spent to get that thing Indiegogo launched. Then yesterday, I did the show, and I'm getting ready to... I had to go out and buy merchandise for the convention, and now today I'm going to make all the merchandise, and I got to get a haircut and do all kinds of real people stuff that you guys have to deal with. So nothing exciting, nothing fun. Good morning, Trent. What Falcon? All I see is trees and a huge watermark. Look above the watermark. You can see the side piece of the Millennium Falcon, the escape pod area. Even if this is real, how pathetic that it is to get us excited. It is pathetic. I really firmly believe that they're banking on the nostalgia one more time. And that's a reference to the videotape release. Is it going to work? I doubt it. It would have worked had episode 8 been directed by J.J. Abrams, and the media wouldn't have attacked the fan base because people would have been like, oh. It would have just been that small vocal minority. But then the backlash is what hurt them, and it woke a lot of people up to the stupidity. And then episode 8 just being a dumpster fire. You better get a double dose of bad art nightmare fuel today. I will look some up. They never learn. You're right, Billy. They never do learn. Deep down, do you want them to learn, or do you want to watch a spectacular failure right in front of your eyes? It's like the train in Back to the Future Part 3. It goes chugging along, chugging along, chugging along. Oh, no, we're out of track. Yeah, boom. That's the end of the movie. I have not heard about High Guardian Spice. SJWs have infected anime. Well, is it American anime? Because that shit doesn't count. If it's real Japanese anime, then I'll be worried. Stay Mad Hulk. Okay. Let me look that up while we're talking about this image one more time. I better laugh. Better not be porn, according to Ethan. Let's see. Images for Stay Mad Hulk. That is bizarre looking. Looks like Hulk's jerking it. Better not show that one. It is American anime. And it's not real anime. If you didn't tell me that was the side of the Falcon, I would have never guessed. It still looks pretty phony. I guess because I know the ship quite well, but let's see. Yeah, the Japanese largely hate this ultra left-wing crap. Yeah, they do. I know the Chinese do. They don't buy into that stuff. They're just, they're very open about it. And Japanese people don't buy into it too. Look at all the Nintendo games. They stay the classic tradition. And they'll make jokes about stuff. Like Birdo from Mario was really a guy dressed as a girl and stuff, and I think that was meant to be humorous. But the Nintendo localization changed it as not to offend American sensibilities. So, for being the country that we are, we're always shielded from stuff. Talk about the Crunchyroll going woke with the High Guardian Spice Tumblr going animated. I saw the Quartering put up a video last night as I recorded the show, but I didn't have a chance to watch it, so I really don't know. If you guys want to tell me more, we can learn about it together. Michael Daler, thank you very much. It won't be Endor. It'll be some bullshit copy like Jakku in The Force Awakens. Also, good morning, Jeff, and I'm super hyped for Stealing Solo. Michael Daylor, thank you very much for supporting Stealing Solo. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the channel, and thank you for wishing me good morning. I wouldn't be surprised if they do pull that shit. Guys, it's not Endor. It's Rodden. That's Endor spelled backwards. There we go. That's what this planet is. Planet Rodden. No, Rodney. Planet Rodney. The evil planet Rodney has housed the First Order. That actually just sounds fucking funny. I'd be okay with that one. But again, guys, it's not about going back to Endor or Hoth. It's about evoking the emotion, the feeling, the visuals of the original ones. J.J. Abrams thinks that is good filmmaking. He thinks that is originality. He thinks that is his calling card. What it is his calling card. When I see the name J.J. Abrams on something, I don't have any faith in it. Produced by J.J. Abrams. Oh, please stop. Directed by J.J. Abrams. No, thank you. Created based on an idea created by J.J. Abrams, ripped off from Steven Spielberg. Ah, okay. There you go. Now you're being truthful with me. Well, Michael, that's probably the case. But still, why this? This looks just like Endor. Why even cause the fan base to look at it and go, this looks so familiar, guys. You're doing it again. Why allow the fans to see this type of shit? Why not give us something unique and crazy? I mean, it is Star Wars after all. The former Cadillac of brands. Wild Warlock, thank you very much. Watching the hot 80s rock chicks almost bang a half duck man was part of my childhood. Is that wrong? Is that what's wrong with me? Well, I'm sure there are other things wrong with you, Wild Warlock. Howard the Duck probably contributed to it. That and the Garbage Pail Kids. But we wouldn't want you any other way. We're made up of a bunch of individuals who, some are bizarre, some are crazy, and some are downright demented like you, Wild Warlock. So thank you very much for finding world-class bullshitters and sharing your insanity, your depravity with us, because we're just as bad as you are. The rumor is that this is Kashyyyk. Why go back to Kashyyyk? Oh, we're going to end this trilogy just like Revenge of the Sith. Why not Coruscant? Why not Coruscant? It's not Endor, it's Splendor. I know what this copycat Endor will be called. Began, because end or antonym of begin and end. Began. Like, what was that planet called? Act 2 was like Act 2. Grand Inquisitor, thank you very much for a very, very, very generous super chat. It's very telling that they released the Resistance trailer on the Disney YouTube channel and not the Star Wars channel. Haven't seen it promoted on Star Wars show either. It's like they knew it was a dumpster fire full of shit. Now, to bounce off of that, Grand Inquisitor, they also haven't... lost my train of thought for just a second. They haven't talked about it on the Star Wars show. It's like they wanted to disappear. Yeah, that's why it's also on at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night. That way they can blame low ratings and other things. I mean, maybe as a fan base, you know what you really want to do to show Disney or show the hypocrisy of Lucasfilm publicly? You all go out there and you ask politely, what about Star Wars Resistance? What about Star Wars Resistance? Instead of bitching about it, you act like you're interested. And then you can become appropriately disappointed when it's garbage. Maybe that's what they don't want right now. They don't want everyone to be focused on Star Wars Resistance. They have Kelly Marie Tran come out in the New York Times and talk about her stuff. They have this leaked image from Star Wars Episode 9, and now you're focused on other stuff and not Star Wars Resistance. You see, Star Wars Resistance is very boring to me. It's dumb, it looks cheap. And like I said, that trailer looks like it all comes from one episode. They didn't have the time or the care to produce multiple episodes and splice them into one trailer. What they should have done is hired Ivan Ortega, given him the raw footage and the copy that they're going to use for the narration, and let Ivan cut a story out of that. No, they don't. They choose some intern who is worth nothing, but will, toe the company line, and they'll put out that stupid trailer. Lucasfilm and the people over at the Star Wars show, instead of, drinking out of your fanboy tears mugs, promote Star Wars Resistance. Do your job. Tell the world about Star Wars Resistance. We need to know. Damn it, I demand we know more about this show today. Everyone out there in the fandom menace, ask Star Wars, ask Disney, ask everyone, what's the deal with Star Wars Resistance? That's all you have to say. They're like, oh my God, Star Wars Resistance is trending. We got to talk more about the show. And then it falls apart. So that's how you control Star Wars. That's my guess. But yeah, Grand Inquisitor, it is interesting that it's on the Disney YouTube channel and not the Star Wars one. I mean, let's see. Let's do our daily inventory of the dislikes to likes ratio. So let me get the YouTube real quick. And let's see, Star Wars Resistance trailer. It finally cracked 1 million views. And here we are. So as of now, it's got 10,125 thumbs up, 61,759 thumbs down. When I made the video this past week, it had 35,000 thumbs down. So the number one comment, George Lucas says, is it too late to buy Star Wars back? Yes, George. Yes, it is. Now, if we look at Disney has 3.1 million subscribers. Star Wars, the channel, has 2.6 million subscribers. It's weird that the Star Wars Facebook page, the Star Wars YouTube channel has so much more. Or so much less, excuse me. So I got a message from Kendo. He's trolling me. John says, I loved Revenge of the Sith. It's a good movie. Not even going to... You know what? You can have... That's one thing about this community. You can your favorite movie could be Attack of the Clones. It could be any of these things. But when we all unite, we're here and the sole purpose of saving Star Wars and, being entertained. Like whatever movie you like. I don't dislike Revenge of the Sith at all. Grand Inquisitor, thank you very much. I hope you get a better answer from Disney themselves why they put it on that channel. What are they trying to hide? What is the demographic for Star Wars fans that subscribe to the YouTube channel of Disney? Do a lot of parents subscribe their kids to the Disney YouTube channel so they can just show them advertisements and things that they can buy for them? Or do you think that they're just trying to avoid criticism? I think they are trying to avoid criticism to some degree, and they just want to put this behind them. I do like the theory that this is the last stand from Kathleen Kennedy, the last thing she approved, that this will die a quiet death, and that she will be let go on September 29th, according to Ethan Van Sciver. But thank you very much, Grand Inquisitor. I appreciate that. Star Wars, you broke my heart. You guys are crazy in the chat. Star Wars show equals shills. Now that, to me, the Star Wars show is like Collider, where they're not really a show made by fans that are passionate about Star Wars, either side of the coin. What they are is essentially Lucasfilm employees. I think they are actually Lucasfilm employees. They're just paid to promote. I don't necessarily buy into that stuff. I want to see the set photos and stuff like that, and base my own opinion on my own previous experiences. I think that's the best way to do it. This is interesting. This comes from Pete. There are movies that get changed on home video, but way less, obviously. Notably, different sound effects, different color timing. Star Wars, the original version, is like that. You have the 81 release has the crawl. It says episode 4, and I believe there are different audio changes, like C3O talking about the main reactor. It's coupled in so many locations. Episode 1 has changes on its DVD release. Episode 1's Blu-ray has CGI Yoda, and those are just really noticeable changes. So yeah, all kinds of movies do that stuff. It'd be interesting, Pete, if there's a website that you have that lists those, could you send those to me over on Facebook? Because I'm just curious to read those for personal interest, not, I wouldn't turn it into a channel video. Thank you, Red Lino, for saying hi to me. Holdo's Muff, the man that ruined this entire channel. Thank you, Holdo's Muff. Have we done a happy dance yet to celebrate Big Bang finally being canceled? Like Ice Cube once said, today is a good day. So, Holdo's Muff, I assume that the happy dance is a reference to Perfect Strangers, which was one of my favorite shows as a child. So thank you for bringing back memories of Balky Bartakamus and Cousin Larry Appleton. Love that show. Love the theme song. Now, here's a little bit of inside baseball for the folks that are fans of the show and patrons. We've already recorded the podcast, so there won't be a live show tonight. If you're a patron, you're going to get the show in a few short hours. And if you're a regular listener, which we still appreciate the hell out of you, thank you very much, it'll be on normal time. So if you spend your Thursday nights listening to World Class Bullshitters, you'll still get World Class Bullshitters at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the channel. But it's going to be a pre-recorded episode, and we talked about the Big Bang Theory. But I'll give you a little teaser, a little taste of what's going to happen tonight. I fucking hate the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory is like the Funko Pops of geek culture. It's bland, homogenized crap that everyone thinks represents the fandom. I know I've gone on rants before, but I feel this strongly. Big Bang Theory has hurt comic book culture irreputably because people think that, like, you talk about idealizing people on TV or ideas. People idealize or idolize the representation of the Big Bang Theory's geek culture, but it's not like that. First off, the Big Bang Theory people are all doctors. They're already very well off to do. When you look at the collections they have, the stuff that's in their on their set, that's expensive stuff. These people really don't have to do much work. They kind of hang out at work, and then the rest of the show is just pop culture, the reference show. I don't like the show. It was funny in the beginning, then it kind of wore out its welcome, and now it's on season 12 and it's almost over. So I'm thankful that it's going to be dead soon. But the show just is nothingness. It's flavorless junk, It's like a pretzel. It's an empty calorie. It fills up space, but it doesn't really do your body any good. And you may say pretzels are delicious, and sometimes pretzels hit the spot. But pretzels haven't been delicious, aka the Big Bang Theory, in nearly a decade. So thank you, Holdo's Muff, for changing the landscape of World Class Bullshitters and reminding me about tonight's podcast. Timothy Riggs, Big Bang Theory is hugely responsible for the hipsterization of nerd culture, genre movies, comic books, video games. Fuck that show. Yes, it is very responsible for that. It is now, here's a different way to look at it. Let's play devil's advocate. Is that a good thing because it made geek culture more ubiquitous and widespread so we get more merchandise, or is it bad? I'm always of two minds on this. Sometimes concentrated versions of your favorite thing where it's the most pure is great. Other times, like with Indiana Jones 4, it's a terrible movie, but I'm thankful that it exists because of all the merchandise I got. So I guess there's the good and the bad with it. You could look at the red or the blue pill. Do you take the one that makes the Big Bang Theory disappear and that Avengers movies don't make billions of dollars and stuff like that? Or Do you live in the world and just swat off the fake people? And now you're thinking to yourself, Jeff, it's always good that we got these movies, but think of the aftermath. Once the Big Bang Theory has shut its doors and it's over with, think of all the people that will abandon ship. Think of all the people that will abandon the Funko Pops. There will just be stacks and stacks of merchandise that these stores have purchased in the attempt to sell to the geek community. But once their golden calf has melted or disappeared, well, the people aren't buying the stuff, and these stores are stuck, and they're trying to get in new merchandise to appeal to the old fan base that once was, but the old fan base has been shunned, brushed aside, much like Star Wars. You wanted this new woke demographic because you thought these people are young, they're going to have kids, we're going to have them buying Star Wars shit for 50 years. No, it's not the case. Those people don't buy merchandise. They want free shit. They probably won't have many kids, if any, and when they do have kids, they'll probably be on tablets and not buy merchandise. So they pushed out the old Star Wars fans. Stores have pushed out, traditional merchandise. GameStop is mostly geek culture shit and a few video games, at least my local one. They've combined with a Think Geek store. The only reason I ever go there is to get shit on clearance because, lo and behold, they ordered way too many Marvel Legends figures and now you can get them on sale for 80% off. Why is that done? Because they're trying to appeal to the Big Bang market. And the Big Bang market has all but dried up. So hopefully the aftermath of geek culture, hopefully the people that like geek culture and stuff like that are a part of it, don't just go to the next big thing. I hope they stick with the shit they're into, but they try to find other sources to consume to get, to fill that hole, pun intended. That's what I'm hoping happens for these people. I don't want everyone to just stop liking comic book movies. I don't want people to stop doing this shit because I'm very happy that we have the Marvel movies that we do, and I'm happy that we can have the discussions in the community that we have. But they'll have to get it from somewhere else. Leonard, Penny, and Sheldon, and Amy Farrah Fowler, and all those characters are just used to sell shit. And I think, Warner Brothers owns that show, so that's why there are always DC themed stuff on that. So I'm glad there's a lot of people that are passionate about the Big Bang Theory sucking ass. Wild Warlock says, I want a DeLorean to travel to an alternate timeline where the Family Guy Star Wars don't pay more respect to the Star Wars franchise than the Disney canon movies. Yeah. I would like that too. Now, remember, Wild Warlock, if you have the DeLorean time machine, you have to go into the past to alter the current timeline because the DeLorean cannot travel through dimensions. It can only cause a ripple effect by altering something in the past to change the present or the future. So if you want to do that, to just go to an alternate timeline and still have, this channel and everything, you need to get a TARDIS and travel time and relative dimension in space. Yeah, that's what it stands for. So yeah, you can travel through dimensions in the TARDIS. See, I know my shit. I mean, I talk about Doctor Who, but I have favorite episodes. I have Doctor Who stuff. Not like my friend Coach Loudy, where I have Doctor Who pajama pants and drinking glasses and, Doctor Who jack-off parties. But I do like Doctor Who. Big Bang Theory did enforce the worst stereotypes of that geek culture. I'm late. What's wrong with Big Bang Theory? Everything, Remy. Everything. And it's getting canceled, thankfully. Morning to Buck Rogers in the 25th century. Comanche Vipers in Kentucky. Cool. People want the address to my local GameStop. Maybe I'll do a video there when they close. Crunchyroll disables high Guardian Spice trailer comments, but fans still crap on the show. Also highlights 100% female writing staff instead of the show itself in the trailer. Do people not want to make fucking money? Do people not want to have a product that stands the test of time? Because this is what you do. This is how you do it. This kind of shit pisses me off because it's one big self-congratulatory pat on the back. I haven't even seen the trailer, but I can imagine it's probably some chick with big glasses and weird colored hair talking about how powerful this show is and how empowering it is to create and it is to work on. Am I right? Like, let me know in the comments if I'm trying to get that scattershot of news or whatever Mundane Matt would fucking say. I'm trying to go for something like that. That's what I'm attempting. And I'm feeling like I'm going to get that pretty accurately. Oh, promote the comic link in the chat. Oh, okay, I got it right. Yeah, I'll talk about stealing Solo. I'll just put the link in the links are always going to be in the descriptions of every video, and I will periodically, talk about it. Oh, we're at 8,666. We need one more backer to hit number 200. So maybe you'll be number 200 out there right now this morning. But yeah, I do stuff. Yes, I have an artistic goal in mind with the channel, with Stealing Solo, with everything we do. But I also enjoy putting out content that I know you all like to consume. If I only did what I wanted all the time, we would be talking about Beverly Hills Cop and how it took me a decade to realize that Axel Foley wore a cutoff sweatshirt and not a rolled up. Just stupid minutia shit like that no one really cares about. There is something to be said about creating something that tons and tons of people want to get involved with, back, watch, consume, enjoy. That was where we were with a lot of media franchises now. Like, I don't know the history of Dragon Ball Z outside of it was Dragon Ball, then Dragon Ball Z, and Akira Toriyama has created it. But that kind of stuff was created to tell a really cool story. Now we get shit like this Spice Mines of Kessel anime bullshit, the Dune trailer with the slug, and that's to them, that is making good entertainment. Oh, we're telling you the story behind the comic. We're telling you the story behind the anime. Look, I don't give a shit. If I want to watch Trigun, I don't care what the dude had for breakfast the week before he wrote it. I don't care. Stop giving us this shit. This is not a Kevin Smith preview for a DC film. Give me something of substance that I give a shit about. Okay, so yeah, more people are telling me about how I'm accurate with the Crunchyroll thing. It was just a guess. It was just a guess. Jeff, who's my favorite doctor? David Tennant. David Tennant, 100%. Adam Shawhan, I appreciate your sentiment. I know you'll love it, and we'll talk a little more in person. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you, dude. I know you're a big fan of the channel, and it's always going to be fun. Like, you're coming up Sunday, like you said. I'll make sure I'm not blackout drunk when you show up. So thank you, Adam. Yeah, they're going to try to bring Dune back. Have you guys had a chance to see Jodorowsky's Dune, the documentary? That was cool. I don't really talk about artsy-fartsy documentaries and shit on the channel, but for someone that likes to draw and do artwork, it's really neat to watch that documentary and expand your mind in terms of what's possible creatively. Remember, sky's the limit. If you can think it and you know how to draw, you can make anything in a comic book or on a piece of paper. And that's what Jodorowsky's Dune was. That's what Stealing Solo is for me. It's so much going on. Axel Foley will always be cooler than Kylo Ren. You goddamn right he will be. Axel Foley is, in my opinion, the second best movie cop next to John McClane. John McClane has so much more depth than Axel Foley. I love him. I love Axel Foley. He's a cool character. He's one of the coolest characters of the best decade of entertainment. But McClane has so much more going on. Like, for as much as I talk about Beverly Hills Cop, I always hold Die Hard in higher regard. Why? Because of moments like when McClane is in the bathroom after he just had to walk through all the glass and he's pulling out the stuff and he's talking to Al Powell about, if I don't make it, tell my wife I was sorry, I was obstinate, blah, 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 blah. Little moments like that are way more powerful than Axel Foley going, huh, huh, huh. I love it. Different movies, different tone. But when I watch Die Hard, I get more emotionally out of it than I do Beverly Hills Cop. So I will always sing Axel Foley's praises here on the channel, and I have a great time talking about him and Eddie Murphy. But Die Hard, man, maybe one. You know what I want to do one day, and I'll make some separate videos for this because I don't want to bore you here on the morning show. But I want to break down what I enjoy about all the movies that I constantly talk about. So Back to the Future, Star Wars, Beverly Hills Cop, Die Hard, Big Lebowski, Hot Fuzz, things like that, and distill it so you guys can know more about me and why I like and praise the things I do. Because yeah, there are popular movies I love. I loved Avengers Infinity War. I loved, Mission Impossible and stuff like that. But the stuff that I constantly buy or support or go out of my way to own on every format or hold in such high regard that I only watch it a few times a year to keep it, holy, if you will. Those are the types of things that will get their own little videos to break it down. I know, and everyone out there has movies like that too. You could love Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me could be your Back to the Future. And I'm interested to hear that kind of stuff. When I do, those series or that series, I want you guys to tell me what, movie is like that. And if you're like the rookie critic out there who makes videos about us, by the way, you should check out the High Council Appreciation video. If you're one of those people, make a video. Let us know. I'm interested to learn about you guys as much as you want to learn about me. Let's see. People are talking about Tom Baker as the Doctor. I have seen episodes with every Doctor. I don't hate any Doctor Who stuff. I just either don't have an opinion or a feeling towards it, or I like it. Like, I like Eccleston. I love Tennant. Matt Smith is fine. And I haven't watched any of Pierre Capaldi or this lady. So, let's see. The turd I dropped in the toilet this morning will be always cooler than Kylo Ren. Yeah. Martin Riggs could what, Axel Foley? Martin Riggs could beat Axel Foley? Sorry, that just rolled by really fucking fast. I apologize. If you send me a message, I'm in the middle of reading it, and boom, it pops up. Let's see. Many of us would like to hear you talk about your love of movies. Am I right, folks? This is Ari Japan. I can do that. Okay, Jeff, what's the name of the character and actor that played that skinny white guy that was with him? Are you talking about in Beverly Hills Cop, Judge Reinhold, Billy Rosewood? Because he's going to be at Horror Hound. I'm going to meet him tomorrow. Ooh, Billy Rosewood. I'll have to check that out. If that's who you're talking about, Joel. Geek Core says flaws, but prequels at least took lore seriously. Yes. They took the lore seriously. Now, everyone here knows Superman the character, and most people here have at least seen or heard of the Superman film from 1978 directed by Richard Donner. But there's this phrase he used on the movie called verisimilitude, which means to take certain elements seriously. Like, it's fake, but treat it like it's real type of thing. George Lucas took that verisimilitude credo, if you have to have a credo, and he used that to talk about or to present Star Wars lore. And, it's his thing too. Like, we've all created stuff, be it a paper for school or a comic book for me or stuff like that. But when you create something, you hold it close to you because you want people to feel about it the way you do. So you always present it in a respectful way. You go in and you buy something okay, here's an example. Let's say you wrote a story and you're really proud of it and you're selling it and you're doing your thing. You would hold that in high regard. Now imagine if someone came in and bought that and it's just a product. Like, for them, your story is the same as picking up an issue of Sports Illustrated. It's just a disposable thing that they're either going to use for whatever or make money off of it. That's what Disney did. When I talk about Star Wars being hoarded out, Star Wars was George Lucas's lady, and then somebody came in and bought her and just did whatever they needed to do with her. And now she's, looking real rough, and George isn't going to take it back. That's what Disney did. That's what Disney did. I know that's a weird analogy, but that's how I see it. Wild Warlock says, Donnie Darko, Fight Club, and Dogma are my movies. Wild Warlock, I like all of those movies. Dare say I love those movies. Donnie Darko, fantastic. Fight Club, fantastic. Dogma, very, very, very underrated. I think that's one of Kevin Smith's smarter movies. I own multiple copies of that. I own Fight Club on Blu-ray, and I do not own Donnie Darko, but I should rectify that situation. We would watch Donnie Darko in college and try to figure out more stuff about it. That's what we did in 2008, a whole decade ago. Judge Reinhold is the heart and soul of Beverly Hills Cop. He is damn excellent. I love that guy as an actor. Do you think they'll make Rose fly through space in episode 9? Probably they'll make Rose Tico some kind of militant soldier, and she's going to get headshots. Like, anybody here play Halo when you have that killing spree, like kill-tacular, double kill, triple kill, blah, 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 blah. That's going to be Rose Tico in this new film. She's going to be like Jesse Ventura. I ain't got time to bleed. Like, she's just going to go on a fucking rampage. She's going to take out stormtroopers left and right. She's going to be stringing them up, taking them out. That's Rose Tico in Star Wars Episode 9. Don't hold me to it, but that's my guess. Gola was talking about Billy Rosewood. Awesome. He's Ethan Van Sciver's buddy is neighbors with Judge Reinhold, so I'm going to try to use that as an entry point. I'm going to pay for his autograph because I have no problem with spending money to get Billy Rosewood to sign my stuff. But I'm also going to do something. I hope you guys think this is as funny as I am, or I do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up to his table with a bunch of bananas and say, dude, there are a lot of cars out in that parking lot. We got some work to do. I also thought last night on the podcast, here's a little teaser. I think during the weekend, I'm going to call Grubhub and have them deliver a sandwich to him and say it's late supper, compliments of Axel Foley, and then have a little note that'll say, like, from your friends at World Class Bullshitters, and see if he gets the joke. He'll be like, either somebody is really crazy or somebody really likes me, and I'll be like, I'm both. But that's what I'm going to do this weekend. Let's see who popped up. Chironis, I apologize if I butchered that. I'm not sure I can Endor Yavin episode 9 be 2 parts. That pun hurt my heart. Like, I take really good care of myself now, and I go the extra distance to, not have a heart attack. But my God, if I have to read more puns like that, I'm not going to make it to 2019. Like, if Chironis sends in more shit like that, stealing solo may never happen because I'll die on the art table. I'll be, working on it, writing it, or inking it and stuff, blah, 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 blah. I read something like that, dead at 29. Didn't even make it to 30. Thanks, dude. Thanks. Red Lion-O, thank you very much. Episode 9, where Rey teaches Luke how to be a Force Ghost. I wouldn't be surprised if she's like, Master Skywalker, shouldn't you do this? And then he's like, yes, Rey, because you died. That's the only thing she hasn't done. She's done everything else but die. Maybe she could master that. Can we hope that's what the movie is about? Yes, Gola, that's what I plan on doing with Judge Reinhold. Seriously, if I'm a fan of somebody, like, look, I get it. You don't want to be bombarded by a bunch of people saying, I love you so much. Like, it's kind of weird to hear that. I understand that. But if you can make someone laugh, you bring the barrier down. And I'm not saying I'm of any level of these people yet, but we're public people. You know about us here on the internet. You can surmise what kind of people or what kind of person I am based on the stuff I talk about. So if you can use a little comedy to break that barrier down of that, not indecisiveness, but the barrier of not knowing who I am, I feel like you can build a friendship. And honestly, we want to start doing celebrity stuff on the channel, get interviews. We've talked about it for months now. Judge Reinhold would be our first big get. I'd like to get Bruce Campbell as well, all kinds of people. And just to ask them about themselves. I'm not really worried about them promoting something. That is actually one of my dreams in life, is to have a late night talk show like a Conan O'Brien, but it's not to promote movies. It's just straight up, like, I don't know, Scarlett Johansson wants to come on and talk about her dog or something stupid like that. That's a bad example. But that would be the show concept, and that would be a lot of fun for me. I feel like I have the ability to pull it off, and a lot of people would watch it. It would be fun. But I am going to do that, yes. Wild Warlock, thank you very much. Rose will be chewing tobacco in the Falcon before they drop on not Endor and call everyone a bunch of slack jobs. She'll look at Finn, and Finn will be like, Rose, I'm not in the mood. She's like, I'm a goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus. Her voice will get real low. They should have James Earl Jones dub Rose Tico's voice. And it's nothing but shitty Admiral Director Krennic puns. Don't choke on your aspirations. That's all it is. Oh my God. Break the ice with Judge Reinhold. Just ask him if he's still a close talker. See, I don't watch Seinfeld, so I don't get that one. But did he really jerk off to Phoebe Cates in the pool? That's not how you start a conversation. That's all I was saying. Let's see. This may sound silly, Jeff, but do I press send message and copy and paste the URL and then send it? Do I have it all wrong? I don't think YouTube allows people to send URLs in this chat. But if you're trying to just send a link to me on Facebook or something, you just copy and paste the URL and then just hit paste and then enter over Facebook, and it'll instantly send it. Are we talking about Kevin Smith shilling? I haven't paid attention to him much lately. Bubba Hotep commentary. I've seen Bubba Hotep many times. And was his Ozzie Davis as JFK? They bleached my skin black. I've seen that movie. It's funny. It's really different. Ask Judge about being in your film stealing solo. That would be hilarious if Judge Reinhold was in the movie. It's Judge Reinhold's revival, his career revival. Like, yeah, I met these guys at a convention, and I was in their comic book movie, and it had Harrison Ford in it. And at first, it sounded crazy, but then I read it, and I really liked it. And now I'm back, and I'm, playing J. Jonah Jameson in the next Spider-Man series. I couldn't say that one with a straight face. I love Judge Reinhold, but nobody is J.K. Simmons. Nobody can be that good as J. Jonah Jameson. I really like Beverly and Beverly Hills Cop 2 for how over-the-top Judge Reinhold is. I also love in the movie Ruthless People, if I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. Steely Rosewood. Did I see the Cordings vids on CG Project Red? Yeah. The one from the other day about Cyberpunk 2077. I'm pretty sure I watched it. For some reason, his videos have just been showing up in my stream a lot, and I've been watching them all because he's just been he's been firing on all cylinders. The dude's been putting out some good stuff lately. He's also going to be on the High Council this coming week. So if you guys want to hear him talk, make sure that you don't miss this week's High Council, which will be on Ethan's channel, by the way. So as always, if you're a fan of this channel, make sure you're subscribed to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. Ethan's been doing a lot to help Stealing Solo break records. I mean, put it like this. I have this channel and all of you guys, and honestly, in close to the same time period, we're about almost at half of what he pulled in. And I mean, he has been doing it for 25 years. So you want to talk about a community. Everyone's part of it. Ethan and Jeremy and I are just like you guys, and they're helping me out, and I'm going to help them out. I backed Cyber Frog. I almost called it Solo Frog. That would have been an interesting book, Solo Frog. maybe that'll be the sequel. Oh my God. This is a good morning. This is a good morning for pop culture. Thank you guys for spending your time with us. I've been getting into the Star Wars Bandai models. What are your thoughts on them? I almost bought a Bandai Star Wars model kit last night at Hobby Lobby because it was already like super discounted, the new Luke Skywalker and Stormtrooper gear. If you guys have the knowledge and you know how to do model painting, you're going to get some cool models. What did I decide to buy instead of that Star Wars Bandai model kit? A National Lampoon's Vacation family truckster. They had a little toy car of it, and I bought that instead. Let's see. Jeff, you need to get the official World Class Bullshitters Discord server from you, or it could be the official High Council Discord server. Yes, I do. Nick has actually been working on that, but what I always tell you guys this, and I appreciate everyone who's patient. This is like a full-time thing. Like, I'll get off of this show, I'll eat something, and then I'll be back working on something else. I just honestly have forgot. There's so many things. Like, I need to get back to making a couple. Like, I wrote the next video. It's completely written. I need to perform it. I might just put it out as is, so you guys have to listen to it. It's interesting. It's called, well, I don't want to tell you what it's called yet. It's as good as the Kathleen Kennedy video that reached 1 million views. So, the content, I really do like the writing process. So I just want to thank you guys for being patient. But yeah, the Discord server, I believe Nick has worked on it, and we just have to figure out more in person. This weekend is going to be fun to hang out with the fans and interact, but there's also going to be little business meetings over copious amounts of beer. So hopefully we remember this stuff. Let's see what's popping up. Tico Frog on Endor. The Corny has a face you just want to punch. I've talked to him on the show. He was very friendly to me. Like I said, I like his content. I don't really have an opinion of him personally, like as a person himself. Jeremy, don't know, but what he puts out, I like. So that's all I can really say about the quartering as is. But it's going to be interesting to have him on the show this week. Would I support a National Lampoon's all-girl movie? No, because I mean, who are the female characters? So it's going to be Cousin Vicky and Audrey, and they go on like a vacation together. Is Paul Feig going to direct? Is Melissa McCarthy going to be in the movie? This actually sounds possible. I should stop before they get ideas. Timothy Riggs says, I can answer questions between tequila shots. I set up a few Discords. Now, Timothy, I believe you're a patron. I'd like you to message me. I'm going to give you an email address to contact me at, so we can be in contact, like your location, like where you're going to be, what time you're going to show up to the show, because we'll basically after the convention, we'll find a place in the lobby of the party to get together. If you're going to be at the show proper, come hang out with us too. Did I ever see or do I have the Spider-Man Todd McFarlane poster book? I don't own that book, and I don't even know if I've ever seen it. I've seen most of Todd McFarlane's published Spider-Man artwork. It's great. Here's the thing. It's definitely style over some anatomical correctness, but the older I get, the more powerful it is. Like as a kid, I would be like, why is his butt so smushy? Why is Mary Jane's butt so smushy? Why are their noses like this? And I couldn't get over the fact that it didn't look real. But the older I get, when you see those big panels of Spider-Man and the spaghetti webbing and the big eyes, then you realize why it sold what it sold. I'd go for a porn parody of a girls' only version of Animal House. That could be funny. By the way, one of our listeners, well, not one of our listeners, Curtis Hammond, the guy that does all the fan art, I think it was his idea about doing an Animal House style poster. Was that him? We're going to work on that as a t-shirt towards the end of the year. Christmas Vacation for me, the cat blowing up was priceless. Alec, that's a great movie. I watch Christmas Vacation, obviously on Christmas every year, because when we go to my mom's boyfriend's house for Christmas Day because my family gets together for Christmas Eve. So, you know, I come from a big family. Well, it's just my mom and I here, but my grandma had 7 kids. And let's see, 4 of those are still alive. 2 of them have died, didn't have kids, but my grandma has lots of grandkids. And then those grandkids, some of them have children too that are like 21 now. So my family ranges from 21 to 94. It's a pretty big age gap in my family. But on Christmas Day, when we're over there, I watch Christmas Vacation every year. That and A Christmas Story. I'll alternate. I'll watch Christmas Vacation, then go to Christmas Story, then go back, then go back. It's just how I operate. I fucking love those movies. Okay, Holdo's Muff, just because you asked via Super Chat. Thank you very much, my friend. Vacation movies, best to worst. For me, it's kind of easy, obviously. Or actually, the best one is the original. Then I like Christmas, European, Vegas, and I don't consider the new one canon. So there you go. Original, Christmas, European, Vegas. And I like all of them. I think the first one's a 10 out of 10 comedy classic. I really like European Vacation because that was the first one I saw. I caught it as a kid on TV. And then, you know, Christmas, everybody likes that movie. If you're like about my age and you're in America, you have a lot of memories of Christmas like that film. Thankfully, I come from a family that knows how to cook, so we've never had a bone-dry turkey or a dog eat your food, but we've had funny shit happen around the holidays here. You know what's funny, Sinister, when you said about you think you hate it now, but wait till you drive it? That is literally what I said when I picked up that toy car. I was at Hobby Lobby. I was getting stuff for the convention, and I said, if you think you hate it now, wait till you drive it. I said that, I swear to God. Brandon Moist sent in $2 for Jeff's alcohol fund. Thank you, Brandon Moist. With that $2, we can go get a tall boy. We can get a 40. I'm going to drink real classy shit at Whore. I'm getting 40s. Actually, I want people to respect me. I'll drink a light beer. I had a car towed all the way to your house, and all you got for me is light beer. I want to know who's going to pay for this. No, no, but thank you, Brandon Moist. I appreciate it. I consider Die Hard a Christmas flick. I watch Die Hard, but I watch Die Hard like all the time. I got it on my phone. I watch it at the gym. A world-class bullshitter's 25 days of Christmas movie live stream. The possibilities are endless. Best enjoyed with kith and kin. All you guys got to do is ask. If enough people ask, we'll make it happen. Let's see. It's not Christmas for me until Christmas Vacation plays. So if we play that for you right now, will it be Christmas on August 23rd? That could be a lot of fun. Scrooge is fantastic. I love Scrooge. Scrooge is probably top 5 Christmas movies for me. So it's going to go Die Hard, Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, Bad Santa, Scrooged, or maybe Scrooge, Bad Santa. I don't know, but those are the top 5. We can alternate number 4 and 5. Jeff, what did you think of the Lethal Weapon TV series? I didn't think very highly of it, but I saw about 5 episodes. That was back when I had a TV in my office still, and I would draw at night. It's the most show I've ever seen. And when I mean it's I don't hate it, I don't like it, but I'm not completely against it existing either. It's just I've been entertained enough to not hate the guy that plays Riggs, but then again, he's fired, so I'll never watch another episode again. Brandon Moy says, no BS, my birthday is actually on Christmas. Well, Brandon, I don't know if I should say that's awesome or say that's terrible, because like on the channel, when someone has a birthday and they let me know, we try to make it special for them, wish them a happy birthday, make it your day. If your birthday's on Christmas or the 4th of July or something like that, everyone's focused on, like, Christmas. Everybody celebrates Christmas like in a family. It's Christmas for everyone. It's not just, your special day. So in many ways, you may get an extra present or two, but you don't get a birthday party that's not Christmas themed or something like that. So hopefully when I have kids, their birthdays aren't on any major holiday. I guess I should just try to plan that. I mean, that is possible. But if you enjoy having your birthday on Christmas, cool, more power to you. For me, my birthday is 10 days before Halloween, which is perfect because I get to celebrate my birthday. 10 days later is Halloween. Then after Halloween, people are getting ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So basically for my birthday through the end of the year, it's just one big party for me. The Grinch is amazing, but I prefer I'm talking the animated one, not the live action Jim Carrey. Salvador, thank you very much. Glad you didn't change your name. Charles Dickens wants to see her nipples then. I don't know what the end part means. Charles Dickens wants to see her nipples. That's Bill Murray, right? From Scrooged. What was the one about the opening part? That's a Richard Donner flick. Richard Donner, again, the man has done no wrong. He is the patron saint of world-class bullshitters. Wild Warlock says, Brandon Moist confirmed for Jesus. Brandon Moist is the world-class bullshitter savior, my friend, and we appreciate you so much that the Moist has arrived on this holy day. Marry a Jewish girl, then you can do Hanukkah. I did have the hots for this Jewish girl. We had a weird relationship. There was a lot of weird sexual tension, but nothing came of it. I'm still friends with her though, and it was funny when she broke up with her boyfriend. I was the first person she contacted, so I guess it went both ways. Do I prefer green eggs and ham? I've never had it. I do not like fried eggs though. I like scrambled eggs, lightly scrambled with butter. I've never seen Blackadder's Christmas Carol, but I guess I can add it to the list. Gerhard, if you tell me about it closer to Christmas, gladly will. My birthday is on International Talk Like a Pirate Day. I'm fine with all the pirate-themed parties. Is your birthday in September then? Is that when Talk Like a Pirate Day is, or is it late August? Let's see. Due to family loss for me, Christmas is much harder to enjoy than it ever was. It's rather sad. Well, Cadmium Red, I understand where you're coming from. My dad died, on the 10th of December, so that's 15 days before Christmas. So for as much as I like Christmas, my mom always gets sad at that time of year because of, what happened. Even though it was 30 years ago this year, she still hasn't gotten over it. So I can understand where you're coming from, knowing how the holidays aren't, the fun time for everybody. But, maybe something good will come around Christmas and it'll help you ease the pain. For example, my grandma lost her first kid on my birthday, October 21st in 1979. And so that was kind of like a bad day for everybody. Now, because of me, October 21st is my birthday, and everyone associates that with my birthday instead of the death of my uncle. So maybe something like that can happen. It's possible. Jeremy Peerboom, thank you very much. Brandon Moist, my B-Day is December 30th. My sister's is the 31st. So I know your pain, my friend. I know your pain. Well, at least your sister can have New Year's Eve parties for her birthday, like straight up. And I'm assuming your sister's close to your age, so I know you guys are old enough to drink. I don't even need an excuse to party, put it like that. But I like to. Amy Minty, I will give my mom a hug. I do all the time. Her and I are tight. Yeah, Cadmium Red, it's rough, so you can relate, but time does ease the pain. John Harrison, September 19th. Actually, I'm surprised you got that. Fair play, ye lover. Yeah, I do know my pirate-themed holidays, as there's only one. No, all joking aside, I remember the first time I ever heard it was my freshman year in high school, and this guy was talking about it's International Talk Like a Pirate Day, and I remember it was early in the school year. That's the only memory I have, so I guessed it was September. Kamikaze Johnson, the 17th of October. Your birthday is 4 days before mine. I first watched Christmas Vacation during the dark Christmas of The Last Jedi, and I thought it was fantastic. Quickly became one of my favorite films. It's a great movie. It's funny, but it's also like sentimental to a lot of people. My uncle that died, not the most. Okay, since I've been cognizant, like my aunt died when I was 2, and I don't remember that. But over the last couple of years, we had two family members die, both my uncles. My uncle Ken, the one that died in 2014, his favorite movie was Christmas Vacation. So we always think about him. And it's fun. It's actually kind of sad. When he died, he had his Griswold Marty Moose t-shirt on, and they had to cut him out of it. And my aunt, whatever. But when she watches the movie, she thinks about him that way. But it's a positive memory. Scott Lazars, I love your mom. Jeff, hug her for me. I will. One thing I will say about stealing Solo is if it can hit the Ethan Van Sciver numbers, I will get the hell out of this neighborhood and I'll take her with me so we can move, because I'm very happy with the channel growth and stuff, but I need to get out of where I am. It's one half of my neighborhood is Deliverance, the other half is like Boys in the Hood, and I'm stuck in the middle. And I just don't want to be, bothered by crazy neighbors or a rough neighborhood. And down the street, they're buying up the properties, trying to do whatever. But it's a weird time in my neck of the woods. I haven't seen the animated version of Green Eggs and Ham. I'll have to check it out. I do like all Dr. Seuss animation, like the old traditional hand-drawn ones. I used to have those tapes. Cry Me a River. I Will Cry You a River. It's a fantastic song. You don't have to say what she did. I already found out from him. I think those are the words, right? Let's see. Scott, I got a lot out of life. I'm not here to bitch and whine about it. I got all you guys. The channel's going great. Life's on an upward trajectory. I just want to tell you guys what I plan to do. That's the next step. Then we turn it into a movie. Then we do this. Then we do that. There's no woe is me here on World Class Bullshitters. It's just success after success, and that's the ultimate goal. Alec Munoz, thank you very much. Here's to getting the hell out of Dodge, Jeff. Damn right. Cincinnati is not that great. They'll tell you it's great. Oh, we got a soccer team that's now getting its own stadium. Yeah, it looks good on TV, but like Michigan State, when it would be on ESPN on Saturdays, it looks awesome for ESPN, but if you turn the camera behind you, it's under construction the entire time. I consider Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers an equal entertainer to Justin Timberlake. So, here we go. They can both have that song. We'll both sing. Come to Texas. As I jokingly said on the show, I've never had a good time in Texas. I think, honestly, Texas is one of the states I don't think I'd move to. It's just so big. Definitely not California either. I actually don't want to have to leave Ohio. It's just this neighborhood sucks. I really want you guys to think about doing a podcast about the best soundtracks of 80s movies. The 80s had the best soundtracks for any decade. I want to do that too. Send us an email. I wish you would have told me this yesterday, Tim, because we would have had that as last night's show. If you guys send it in an email or it's always archived, I can go and check that out. Jeff leaves Cincinnati and goes to Oxford, Ohio. I've been to Oxford, Ohio. I worked there. When I worked for the 7-Up Pop Company, I had to go to a Kroger or some grocery store in Oxford. It was a long drive. The Cincinnati Bengals suck too. Yeah, I'm not a sports fan. You guys can rip on Cincinnati sports teams all day. You're not going to offend me. I'm not loyal to any sports team. I think the closest thing I like to an athlete is The Rock, and he's an actor now more than a wrestler. Can we do a Married with Children episode? Yes, we can definitely do a Married with Children episode. I fucking love that show. Jeff moves to Miami. Now it's going to be Miami, Florida, not Little Miami River in Ohio. I definitely could see myself moving to Miami. I've never had a bad time in Miami. It was like being in a rap video. So, yeah, stealing Solo makes $28 million. Jeff moves to Miami. I become obsessed with fad diets, and I broadcast every morning from the beach. Sir Ruin of House Roundhead says Doomcock is up for doing a podcast with Dishonored Wolf and Mauler, although he has never heard of Mauler before, but he watches the Dishonored he watched one Dishonored Wolf video. First off, Sir Ruin of House Roundhead, thank you very much for your support. I have to write something for Mauler today. Thank you for saying the name Mauler. Let me do that right. Mauler essay. Mauler needs help with something. I'm going to help him out. He's a friend. We'll figure out a time. September. We'll talk about it in September. I'll try to get both of those guys on soon. I'll see what Mauler's got a really big project he's working on, so it usually takes a little time for Mauler, but I will make sure that the three of them are here on the channel with me before you guys know it. So thank you. The 70s gave us iconic soundtracks: Jaws, Superman, Star Wars. John Williams gave us iconic 70s soundtracks from the look of your content. Look at your comment, excuse me. No, 70s did have some great scores. There were some funky ones. There were iconic, epic ones. I don't really shit on the 70s. The older I get, the more I appreciate 70s. The score from Shaft, at least the theme from Shaft, is incredible. But there we go. Perth Comics, can I hear your pitch for stealing Solo? EVS may put you on the spot on the Comicsgate live stream. Yeah, I'll give you the pitch. So you guys listen to the channel, and you know how I feel frustrated with the state of Star Wars. We're constantly shit on. We're constantly told we're these terrible things. Stealing Solo is a humorous take on an extreme situation. So what it is a group of fans dejected after Star Wars Episode 7 kidnap Harrison Ford, hold him in their basement, and force him to remake the movie. And it's an homage to Star Wars. It's a parody, so it's a parody first and foremost of the situation. But it's a way for me to tell a story that I'm passionate about, that makes me laugh. And I've told the concept to tons of people, and by tons, I honestly mean more than 20. And every time someone laughs, it's not like, oh, okay. No, everyone always laughs and goes, that's a crazy concept. And Ethan was very polite and kind when he's like, yeah, it's the best story in Comicsgate. It's the best concept, the best pitch. And I'm really happy he said that. I feel strongly about it too, as strongly as he does. Obviously, it's, my thing, but I feel strongly about it in the same manner he does. And I want as many people to read it so they can laugh. It's a funny story. The ending, I really wish I could tell you guys more about the story, the plot, but I don't want to ruin the joke for you, because the ending is just, you'll have to see it. There's all kind of imagery and visuals that will evoke the original nature of Star Wars, and people are joining up right now. So I'm going to thank everybody. We've reached past whatever's on the screen. I just keep getting emails on my phone. Actually, I had to turn off the notification sound effect because I've received hundreds and hundreds of emails about it. So thank you guys. Let's see. We had the Cobra Viper, but yeah, that's really it. Perth Comics. It's just the story of a group of guys who kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake the movie, and hilarity ensues. There's a couple big twists, and as you see, the artwork on your screen was drawn by me, colored by, I believe my friend's name is Jose Lopez, and I'm going to be continuing the artwork. It's going to be professionally colored. It's going to be printed by the same people that produce DC quality books. I won't say Marvel because some of their covers are shitty, but it's going to be of that quality. Same comic book size, same comic book quality paper, high gloss, all that stuff directly delivered to your door. I've covered how I'm going to ship it to you, the posters, everything. So you're going to get the highest end product. It's going to be produced to the same standard that Cyberfrog and Lone Star and all that stuff is going to be. It's not going to have it's not going to feel cheap or homemade or anything like that. This is like Huey Lewis's second album. When Sports came out in '83, it has a clean, crisp veneer of professionalism, and that's what Stealing Solo is. Let's see. Billy Ritchie, How the BSers Saved Christmas, starring Cecil. One thing, when the Stealing Solo is the first comic we're going to do. There's all kinds of crazy ones I have pitches for. So the more this one, succeeds, I will definitely do more down the road. I love doing comics. I love comics. For me, I shifted away from it because so many people in my life, not my mom, I just want to clarify that, told me what a waste it was and how I was wasting my life. And, oh, you're young and this is stupid and this is dumb. Well, it really wasn't dumb. I mean, look at the support from everyone out there so far in one day. I mean, this is not just it's not like I have 5 backers and people are like, man, Jeff, I wish you the best of luck. No, minutes after it went live, it was like $4,000. It's not even a 36-hour cycle, and it's already almost at $10,000. I mean, have to be doing something right in the world, and this is the next step. And you guys will get to see updates and stuff and more art all the time. It's I'm really pumped. I mean, this weekend right now I have to focus on the convention. That's why it doesn't seem like I'm talking about it every minute, because I have this show. We're promoting the channel. We've had huge growth. I'd like to thank Ethan again, because with him promoting Stealing Solo, our subscriber count's jumped up 800 subscribers in the last couple days. I mean, we're catching up to those guys. We're having such great growth, and I got so many things I got to focus on. But once I get back, it's going to go Good Morning Pop Culture. Then I start working on pages. And then you guys will get your updates and stuff like that. And I'm going to show some sequential pages once I get them back from the colorist. I don't want to put anything unfinished out, but this is a story for all of us. Let's see. Here you go. Sir Ruin of Roundhead says, market stealing solo at Baltimore Comic-Con in Maryland next month. Then I can hang out with you. Oh man, I really wish that I could make that trip. But as of now, like Ethan did with Cyberfrog, it's only going to be available through the Indiegogo thing. I don't plan on taking it out to try to go to stores and stuff like that and deal with the same crap. Like I could go to my local comic book store, Rock and Rooster, and I know without a shadow of doubt they would back this up. They would, tell people about this project because they're good people and they know me and they know the show, and people that work at the store listen to the show and stuff like that. So they're great guys. John that works there, I know he listens to a lot of our stuff. He's in our Facebook page. He's a cool dude. I could do that. But, doing it on the internet like this has much broader appeal and a much wider reach for everybody. It's you get it here and it shows up at your house. It cuts out the middleman and it keeps it, I don't know, more special. Because if you can't get it in the stores, where else are you going to get it but here, type of thing. But Saruin House of Roundhead, I will, if I'm ever in the Baltimore area, we'll hang out. Even if I'm in DC, I can go to Maryland and we can hang out. Like I said, guys, when I travel for stuff, if there are people in the area that I'm in, I'll gladly meet up for lunch or dinner or drinks or whatever you guys want to do and hang out. We'll do a live stream together as a group of friends. We'll hang out. You guys can be the replacement bullshitters for the evening. Honestly, if a big group of people were like in New York, I'd be like, let's just go do a video and do something crazy together. So there we go. Thank you, Perth Comics, for the nice round of applause. Would I call it a black comedy? Yeah, there are a lot of elements of humor to this story. I mean, it's not boring or dumb or anything crazy like that. It's if you love Star Wars, you're going to love this story because there's so many fun, subtle winks to it. But at the same time, it's a comedy first and foremost. And trust me, it's everything I'm saying it is. I'm not trying to, thank you. No, Disney does not have any stake in this because there's nothing from Star Wars in it. Trust me, I've looked into that constantly. If you guys need to keep asking that, look at Mad Magazine. It's like Mad Magazine. They don't call up, a parody and the spoof are protected under copyright law. Much like the example, you ever heard of Two Live Crew, the guys that sing the song Me So Horny? They used a real song in one of theirs, but because they changed the lyrics, they won in court. So this story actually doesn't contain Star Wars copyrighted things. So no, I appreciate that you guys are worried for my concern, but it does not contain anything from Lucasfilm in the story. So therefore, it doesn't. And public figures are protected under parody, and it's only if you portray them in a way that causes them financial loss can you get in trouble. So Harrison Ford is the hero of this story, and much like in all of his movies, he comes out on top, the winner. So, or does he? Let's see. Have I heard of Mark Johnson's documentary episode Backlash? The documentary will be looking into the media's demonization of Star Wars fans. Ooh, maybe Mark Johns should appear on this channel so he can promote that, because I'd like to, help the dude out. By the way, Timothy Riggs, thank you very much for your patronage. I just got that email, so thank you. If this gets made into a film and you can't get Ford, do you think Idris Elba would do it? That's the plan, guys. Like, I want Harrison Ford, but if not Idris Elba, definitely next in line. How many issues do I plan on doing? Just one. Just a one-shot story. It's just a one-shot story. Thank you, Holdo's Muff. Salvador says, backer number 31, if Jar Jar Abrams and Cryan Johnson wanted female leads for Star Wars, they would have used Asajj Ventress, a femme fatale, if there ever was one. Yeah, Asajj Ventress was fucking awesome. And the part in the Clone Wars 2003 where she fought him on the temple in the rain with the smoke coming off the lightsabers, like just thinking about that now gives me kind of goosebumps because that was so well done and so crazy. They want to rip off all this other shit. Why not just do something people love? Let's see. Let's see. Who we got popping up? Yeah, Weird Al songs are an example of parody. Like I said, it's even a parody in here. So what I consider doing Kansas City Con, it's pretty centralized in the country. Could get a big showing. I would. I'm not opposed to doing stuff like this at shows. We picked Horror Hound because it's 90 miles from me. It's the only person that has to go really far is Nick. So Kendo and Dion are close enough to Indiana, and I'm really right next to it. So that's why we picked this show. But we can do more stuff. I definitely would do a Kansas City show. Excuse me, Kansas City. I guess I'm watching South Park. You know, I want some shitty chicken. I binged on the Clone Wars series while I was on my last business trip to Phoenix. I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, it was awesome. That the whole 2003 series was excellent. I didn't read your name from the super chat, Cesare Japan. Somebody retracted theirs as in the middle as I was reading it, so it says message retracted. If it showed up around, let's see, I don't know. I can't tell what time these messages were sent, but it came before Cadmium Red's thing. So if you sent that one, it just says message retracted. So I'm sorry I didn't get to read that. 2008 Hall of Heroes Comic Con is in September, but I'd like to try and see if we can get you for 2019 if you'd be interested. Yeah, I'm interested in doing all kinds of stuff, guys. I'm interested in taking this show on the road and reaching as many people as possible. We're in the beginning. I know we've been doing YouTube for a while, but I consider us still in the beginning phases of the channel. So anything's possible. I'm not going anywhere. This is a full-time thing for me now. You guys help support it beyond my wildest dreams, and I'll continue to do this as long as you guys keep watching. Oh, it was Cobra Viper that retracted the message. Folks, thank you to everyone. Now it's at $8,806, 44% reached in 36 hours. Like we said, in the Fandom Menace. Damn. The Mark John Super Chat. You mean the one about him doing the documentary where I said he should come on the show? Because I read that one right here. If you've heard Mark Johnson's documentary episode Backlash, the documentary will be looking into the media's demonization of Star Wars fans. Cesare Japan. Yeah, I read that for sure. I said the guy could come on the channel and he could promote it if he'd like. I've heard, I think, was it John Talks Star Wars or some YouTube channel put out a trailer or some image about that. I've seen an image that said episode Backlash. So if that dude would like to come on and talk, he's more than welcome to. Thank you, Turbo Donk. Thank you, Turbo Donk, very much. And to answer your question earlier, live signing at Rock and Rooster, if they'll have me, of course. Love those guys. Let's see. If you don't deliver that comic book, I will hunt you down, Jeff, kidnap you, and make you write it. Well, it's already written, and I love to draw, and I'm already in the drawing process. You see, with all the interest, look, it's happening. I'm a man of my word. Sometimes little things will slip past, like, hey, I forgot to watch a video on YouTube. But if I say, hey, I'm going to invite you on the channel, or hey, we're going to do this for you, we always make good. So thank you guys. And yes, the force is strong with the Fandom Menace. Would I be willing to deliver it to Australia? You mean like personally on the highest joke tier? Sure. If you guys join it, I'll show up anywhere in the world. It's not an issue. But somebody asked, do I look at any other live stream channels for ideas, different ways to do podcasts or live streams? No, I don't watch any other YouTube people for ideas. That's why all the daily videos, like the single ones that I do that are just me, that's why they're unique and they've been successful, because it's my own take, my own content. I don't watch other people's stuff and try to improvise my own version. I don't believe in copying other people's stuff like that. I mean, there are coincidences. Sometimes Ethan, Jeremy, and I will cover the same topic, but it's never in the same way. So the only thing I've ever looked at was a format where somebody had like a Twitch stream where it would read your messages. Like when you send in a super chat, it would read it, like a voice would read it on air. I would love to figure out how to do that, but no one's ever responded back to my question. So thank you very much. Comics Elite. Good morning from Drew at Comics Elite. Can't wait for tomorrow. Were you going to send me an email regarding logistics and such? Yes, I am. Realistically, it's just for me trying to figure out what's the best way to send a comic book safely. That's all it really is going to be. I just wanted you guys to have a heads up, because when sending this book out, I don't want a creased corner or anything like that. I mean, if you're going to send it to go to get what is it, CCG graded or whatever, nobody likes a damaged product. And I just wanted to make sure, Grendel fan, that you guys could tell me how you send out your books, because I know Comics Elite would definitely, with all their elite, exclusive covers and stuff like that, they're never going to have, you know, a damaged product. Ryan the Boatmaker needs to be a Comicsgate story, and that's all on Subversive Jake. That is his story 100%. But Subversive Jake said it'd be cool if we made a video, and I just need to sit down and get everyone to record their parts. Thank you, Rowdy Ruffian. I definitely have my own style. I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys have picked up on it. Adam Shawhan, the best damn show on the planet. World class bullshitters is my, in my opinion. Thank you, Adam. I know you're a big fan of the channel. I know there are a lot of big fans, but Adam, you always go above and beyond to tell us that you love the show and, you know, want to see us grow. So that kind of stuff makes me feel good. Yeah, it's nice to be able to go to cons and do stuff and have the resources to grow the channel, but everyone's so kind that, you know, it makes it worthwhile to, like, you wake up in the morning and you're like, man, you know, I'm going to do Good Morning Pop Culture, and people are going to tell me that they appreciate it and they like the show. And it's nice to hear. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it just goes to show you that people that dislike the Disney Star Wars movies, there are a bunch of good people in that group. You know, if anyone would ever say, oh, everyone that dislikes this movie is a bunch of angry alt-right trolls, I say, I've seen the good in them. They're not evil. You've just wronged them, and you're the asshole. You can't see that. Don't have the auto-generated super chat voices. I've seen too many Twitch super chat auto-generated videos that will say something ridiculously offensive. Oh, okay. How about this, though? Let me float this idea. Let's say you guys would send in a $5 super chat. It would play something funny, like, I don't know. Like, there's a show I would watch called The Joe Cronin Show, where it would, you know, each tier would say something different. Maybe you have one that pops up where it would be like, so it would be like a sound effect, and Ryan Johnston's face would appear on screen, or just something to make you laugh. Would that be something you'd want to see? I don't want to change the format. Once I move, I want to do live streaming where I'm on camera and produce actual content. But until then, we're going to keep the talk radio format. Gerhard Van Staden, I apologize because I always butcher your name, but I remember you because you said South Africa, not Germany. So thank you for being patient. Hi, Council. Long time no Cecil. A little C, please. Cecil has been busy. I know he had a live stream yesterday, and I don't know how many people showed up for it, but I like Cecil. Cecil is a good dude. He's funny. And I was watching a show the other day with Dom DeLuise and his son, and I thought, oh, that's what Cecil's child would look like if any woman wanted Cecil. Not being hip, but I find 60s, 70s, and 80s music to have much more soul and energy, in my opinion. Well, Pete, I'm with you on 70s and 80s music. I think there was an article that came out talking, yeah, there's a series of videos on YouTube, like the Millennial Whoop and something else. Old music was more like auditorially complex. Like, there was more going on in those old songs. They can scientifically prove that. And today's songs are very repetitive and boring, but people pick up on the repetitive and boring like they've been conditioned. And that's why the crappiest stuff gets popular. So, you know, maybe down the road, I'll make a terrible song and I'll just repeat the same shit over and over and over with a catchy, and there we go. And I'll make $1 trillion. Let's see. Timothy Riggs says, have to actually do work. Like I have 24 client logs to update. Good morning, pop culture, and have fun. Tim, thank you very much for everything. We'll have fun, and I'll see you in person in just a few. Actually, it's like a day, so it could be like 36 hours that we're hanging out. So anything's possible, man. You should have a Tim Allen sound effect. I like that one. I used to love that show. I went back and rewatched all of it this year. A little embarrassed. Ted Nugent's Stranglehold is one of my favorite songs. You know what, folks? Let's talk about some of your favorite songs out there. Let me know if you have what your favorite song is or a favorite album, and tell me why. I know a lot of people. Nobody's going to have probably the same exact favorite song for the same reason, but I'm going to be interested to hear that stuff. I could do that, Cesare Japan. I could do that exactly. 2 press F sound effect, $5 muff sound effect, $10 moist sound effect, $20 plus Dion screaming after seeing a mannequin riding a horse sound effect. Adam Wofford, I'm going to look more into that anime stuff, and I'll talk about that on tomorrow's Good Morning Pop Culture, because I always try to learn more about the entertainment that people want me to talk about. And anime, while I'm aware of it, it's just not something that I've been a huge fan of. I like some shows, but I don't follow the community. But I know about the Crunchyroll situation. I'm definitely going to be looking into that so we can talk about it tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Yeah, Tim Riggs, yeah, definitely will have a soundboard. I can do that for sure. Actually, since I have a better microphone, I'll just have the guys record new stuff. George Hilton says, Nas, Illmatic. That's your favorite album. I think I have that. At least my friend in college gave me a copy of it. Quack morning, Jeff. Quack morning to you, Commander Cody. Mike Oldfield, The Wind Chimes. That sounds really familiar to me. Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, because I'm a 90s kid. Isn't that Smashing Pumpkins, Benjamin? Let's see. Oh, God, here's tons and tons of music. Let's see if there's anything that I'm a fan of or own. Two Live Crew. We talked about them earlier. Favorite album, Stardust, Galaxies, Parletones 2009. I've never heard of that. Metallica's Master of Puppets. Perfection. I like that song. VLX is listening to old classics. I guess you like crooners right now. Crosby, Sinatra, Dean Martin. Silicon Dave. Huey Lewis in the news. Sports plus my creativity. Puts my creativity in a positive spin. I do like Huey Lewis. I was listening to The Power of Love before the show started. AC/DC Back in Black. Obviously, I know that album. Everybody knows that album. Daft Punk Discovery on vinyl. I like Daft Punk. I have a good chunk of their albums. I was really into techno in college. Tubular Bells. Isn't that the song that's like the Exorcist song? Two of my favorite songs are Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up and Oingo Boingo's Little Girls. I love Never Gonna Give You Up. When people rickroll me, I don't get mad. I just like that song. My mom and I both like that song. Because I'll never forget, I was a kid and I heard it, and she goes, would you believe that this is a white guy singing? And I said, no, you're full of shit, Mom. Because, that's how I talked at 9 years old. And then, we just would always listen to that song when it would come on. So I enjoy the hell out of Rick Astley. Alter Bridge, Blackbird. Alter Bridge is like Creed without Scott Stapp, right? Friday soundtrack. No favorite album, but favorite artists are George Strait and John Denver. It's funny, before I read who said that, I saw George Strait and I thought of you, Trent. So there you go. See, being friends with me on Facebook pays off. I learned a little bit about you guys. Beastie Boys Intergalactic. That's a great song. Great song. I love it so much. It's on my phone. I listen to it a couple times a week, honestly. Let's see. Who else we have here? Hungry Like the Wolf. Great song. Also have it on my phone. Teresa Martin. I'd back Stealing Solo. Look forward to reading it. Thank you very much, Teresa. We'll be doing tons of stuff to promote it and help it reach Cyberfrog levels of fun. It can happen, guys. If somebody would have said to me last year, oh, you're going to end 2018 with 100,000 subscribers, and I had 5 at that point, I was like, no, that'll never happen. Well, look, shit happens, and we're at 71 about to be. Technically, we're at 71 behind the scenes. And it just keeps going and going. So I know people are thinking, man, your goals sound crazy, but if you don't have crazy big goals, you'll never get further than where you are. So that's my life lesson. I don't really want to get on here and try to preach about stuff that's not entertainment or even preach in general, but always shoot for something bigger. Don't be satisfied with, the mundane, if you will, no pun intended. Always go for the big dream, the big money, the big prizes, because no matter what happens, you're always better off than you were. You can't be worse off than you are. So for me saying, oh, I want Stealing Solo to, surpass Cyberfrog and make, whatever amount of money and turn into a movie that's, a box office hit, it's only limited by my imagination. So if I believe it can happen, I can work to make it happen. Just look at the YouTube numbers. Look at people out there. Look at, try to think of an example of somebody who put that out there. There's that Olympic skier, the bobsledder guy that started out and he's like, the luger. And he said, I want to be a luger. I want to be a gold medal luger in so many years or 2 years or some crazy amount. He's real famous. He's now a public speaker and he made it happen. He worked hard at it. So, never, ever don't ever limit yourself in your goals, because I haven't, and look where things are going now. And you guys can do the same thing. It seems hard at times, but there are times where you just got to keep pushing forward, and you can't, give up or say, oh man, this isn't worth it. This isn't working. Just, if you believe in your goal or your dream or whatever you want to believe in, you just keep going and going and going, and then you'll make ground. And before you know it, you're so far ahead than where you used to be. That is my whole credo. Like, again, if you have to have a credo, and nobody got that reference earlier, that's what mine is. See, Beastie Boys Girls, that's a good song. Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love. I love the song Dr. Feelgood. That song, that's one of those ones you could put on before as I start drinking, I'll chug a beer, I'll, fist bump to it. I love that fucking song. Paradise City, that's a good song too. Hey, Brian, Ape Channel Dad, we talk about you this week on the show quite a bit. Yeah, Rick Astley does have a black guy's voice. Good morning, Jeff. So this is the return to Endor communications into episode 10. One last moist muff. Oh, God, please. No episode 10. No episode 10. Everything in the world can go to hell. Oh, as long as it get Iron Maiden songs. Darude Sandstorm. I know that's probably an ironic choice for you, Kylo Ren's nipples, but I do love that song so much. It's fun. It reminds me of high school. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, Blink-182, one of the greatest puns in an album. Yes, I know that album. I used to think Blink-182 was awesome in grade school, and I'm not acting, trying to act like I've matured or anything like that, but back then, I used to listen to that kind of stuff a lot, and I thought Blink-182 was awesome. Marilyn Manson, Nine Inch Nails, Madonna, says Scott Lazar's. Wild Boys, Grand Moff Tarkin. It's a good song. Take On Me by Aha. Lokta. I love that song. Believe by Cher, says Alphamart Datilos. My mom likes that song. I had hear it so much. Do I have a lifting playlist? Asks Holdo's Muff. No, I have an 80s playlist that I find myself cycling through. You know what? If I get to the gym and I'm like, I just need something to get through without having to touch my phone, I'll just put on the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack. So a lot of times, if you were to see me, clanging and banging to Axel F or some shit like that. Declan Webster, thank you very much for your super chat. At work listening to Florence and the Machine. GG. Well, thank you, Declan, very much. I remember Florence and the Machine. They were kind of popular, a couple of years ago? I'm not saying they disappeared, but I remember a couple of years ago they were a little more prominent. But I'm sure they're still around. Collective Soul is your favorite band, Commander Cody. My cousin's favorite band is Collective Soul. Are they the ones that had that song Runaway Train? No, Soul Asylum's one, Runaway Train. Or is that Collective Soul? Sorry, Collective Soul Asylum. Whatever. Runaway Train's a decent song, but like that. Shoot for the moon. If you miss, don't land on Ryan Johnson's face. Oh, favorite song as a kid, All-Star by Smash Mouth, all because of Rat Race. Well, Trent, I'm a little older than you. That was my favorite song as a kid, well before Rat Race came out. That song was on the Mystery Men. It's more Mystery Men than Rat Race for me, because the music video has the Mystery Men in it. And I had the Smash Mouth album. What was the name of it? Astro Lounge. I had that CD as a kid. My mom didn't buy me many CDs because she thought I would only listen to one song on it and then get tired. But she put the money down for Astro Lounge in 1999. I listened to the shit out of that CD. I only liked All-Star, but I listened to all the songs just to prove her wrong. So Then the Morning Comes. There were quite a few decent songs on there. But Smash Mouth is not a band I would ever go see perform live or even listen to today. I'm not angry with them. I grew out of that phase. The Antwort has some great tracks. I've heard of them. Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, great song. Did you guys hear that Michael Jackson is no longer the highest selling artist anymore? The Eagles have passed Thriller. Chris Cornell, almost anything he ever did. John, it's funny you bring up Chris Cornell. Dion and I went to see Tears for Fears in Hall & Oates last May, and essentially across the street in Detroit, Chris Cornell played his last show. So we could have seen him, but we chose Tears for Fears. The Doors, Roadhouse Blues. I love The Doors. It's one of my favorite bands. All on the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. Fantastic song. Eminem pre-soy version. I liked Eminem back in the day myself. I just kind of got out of his music. Stan, I think, is his best song, though. Weapon of Choice by Fatboy Slim. Great song. Better music video. Christopher Walken. Holy shit, do I love that. Okay, Collective Soul Shine you're thinking of. Okay. Rolling Stones Paint It Black. Fantastic song. I was listening to Under My Thumb on the way to the gym yesterday. It's a good song. Let It Be by the Beatles. Good Beatles song. Chris Cornell, You Know My Name. Fantastic James Bond song. Arguably the best one. Tears for Fears. You love them, Scott Lazars. I do too. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of all their music. I like songs from The Big Chair, and Everybody Wants to Rule the World is my favorite song. But I like them enough that I would go 5 hours to see them live, and I did, and they kicked ass. They were better than Hall & Oates. Tears for Fears actually played that song Creep by Radiohead, and they sounded just like Radiohead. Actually better, if you will. Let's see, Outkast, Hey Ya, it's a good song. Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You by Led Zeppelin, that's on my phone. The End is a good song, also on my phone. I love the Doors' first album. It's perfect, says Cadmium Red. I have their greatest hits album, so I don't know exactly what comes from what, but I enjoy the shit out of all their big hits. I'm one of those people. Living Color, Cult of Personality. That is a kick-ass song. A lot of people that are wrestling fans say, oh, you only like it because of CM Punk. No. I first was exposed to that song through Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on Radio X. I remember flying the damn airplanes around the upstate country area and listening to Cult of Personality. That song rocks. I love that song. So I actually got to see that performed live. They played it live at WrestleMania 29 in New York City. Well, New Jersey, technically. But I was there, so I got to hear that song played live, and it was awesome. Butter in Your Fridge by Uncle EVS. Yeah, that might be the best song in recorded history. I think we should take a step back, a moment of silence, if you will, to remember that song. All right, that was good enough. Grand Moff Tarkin, November Rain by Guns N' Roses. See, I don't like that song, but my favorite Aunt Pat, she loves that fucking song. So when I hear it, I think of her. Gerhardt, thank you very much for all you do for the channel, man. I appreciate your support and watching us. And have a good evening. It's bizarre for me to think that it's time for you to go to bed right now. But thank you, guys. Duel of Fates by John Williams is a fantastic song. Press B for butter. Yes, everyone press B for butter. Claustoric. When I'm down, girl talk, feed the animals. Those are your favorite songs? Claustoric, I don't know those songs off the top of my head. But I'll check them out. You guys could also recommend stuff in the comments section of this live stream, and we can check it out, and I can hear, I can listen to what people said and want to tell you what I thought. But thank you, Claustoric. Have I heard of Halloween? Like, is it a group, or is that like a song, or what? Lots of B. All right, dial B for butter. That should be Ethan Van Sciver's next comic book, Dial B for Butter. I'll help him write it. I love Hitchcock. He loves Hitchcock. Psycho is his favorite movie. We'll do an homage, including starring the High Council. Dial B for butter. We could have Cecil as the villain. Cecil's like Norman Bates. What are my thoughts on Journey's new vocalist? The Asian dude? See, I don't really like Journey that much, but if I have to listen to it, it's got to be the old Steve Perry stuff. I used to hate Don't Stop Believing, but then I kind of mellowed out in life, and I realized, yeah, Don't Stop Believing. I won't. And it's got an okay guitar solo. I like that song, Wheel in the Sky, and the other one, that Someday Love Will Find You or whatever, Separate Ways. That's a cool song from Tron. Banana Phone by Rafi. Kenneth LaRock. One of mine is Armageddon by Prism. Excuse me for butchering that. Thank you very much, Kenneth LaRock. I'll have to check that one out too. I do not know that song. Paicho. See, Jeff, are you familiar with Radiohead's cover of Nobody Does It Better? Since you like James Bond so much, you might like it. I'm going to check that out, Ken Jack Ben. I'm going to check that out. I love James Bond covers. Sometimes they suck, sometimes they're awesome. That Robbie Williams Millennium song is essentially You Only Live Twice. So if there's any of our UK listeners out there, you might know that song. Yeah, Cam1138 says, ooh, that'd be a great comic idea. Well, after Stealing Solo lights the world on fire, we'll come back with Dial B for Butter. That'll be the first High Council comic. I'll talk to Ethan behind the scenes. We'll make it work. He and I can double up on the art duties to expedite the process. Who else we got about music? Guys trying to catch Pablo Hidalgo because he keeps looking at all that butter. maybe. Baby Beluga by Raffi. I remember that song, Caesarea, Japan. It was from, I remember it on the episode of Full House where Michelle kept playing the damn tape. Voodoo by Godsmack. I don't know that song, but I do like The Enemy by Godsmack. Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. Rugers. I know that album. King Eric, I've seen Initial D. I've watched it. It's on, or at least it was on Hulu a couple months ago, and I was watching it. So, yeah. Pete 1972, Kiss from a Rose from Seal on the Batman Forever CD is quite good. That's one of the channel collectively's favorite songs. Maybe if we get Dion drunk, I'll get him to sing that live at Horror Hound. I do like that song a lot. It's such a good song. Yes, it reminds me of Batman, but it just reminds me of like the 90s in a simpler time. Seal's a pretty good singer. The Prodigy. I like The Prodigy. I don't know The Day Is My Enemy, but I know, was it Breathe and Firestarter? Those are both good songs. Anything by Dio. I like Rainbow in the Dark. That's a fantastic song. That's another one of those drinking songs. That and Dr. Feelgood. Those are like, if you play those as I start partying, I will just chug down whatever beer you hand me, and the day will start properly. Did Dion get the chicken suit? Declan, yes. The turkey suit is right here in my office. I'm looking at it. It's in a box along with Mr. Ed. So if you guys ever do send in something crazy and you want me to buy it for the channel, I buy it instantly so you guys don't think I forgot about it. And then we give it to Dion, and we're going to present it on camera. So if anyone wants to see Dion dressed as a damn turkey, well, Dion, I hope you're listening still. You are my best friend, and I love you very much. But be prepared to be humbled this weekend, my friend. Be prepared to be humbled. Let's see. Who else we got? Any other songs before I close this out? See, now this is the type of show where I can just keep on rolling. And no, that's not a Limp Bizkit reference. I didn't mean that at all. That was terrible. I apologize. By the way, Cobra Viper, thank you very much for that support. I appreciate that, my friend. Best drinking song is Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. I do like that song. Like, it reminds me of being a kid. Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell by Dio is awesome. I'll have to check that one out, too. New Order has some great songs in the 80s. Yes, I agree 100%. What is that? True Faith by New Order. I like that song. I might listen to that as soon as this is over. That's an American Psycho. Trent knows that song. Let's see who else we got. Goal 82. See you, Jeff. Gotta get ready for the interview. Thanks to the love and luck, everyone. Have a good day. Gola, we're still thinking about you, man. You're gonna rock the hell out of this interview. Just go in, take a deep breath. You got all the confidence in the world. All of world-class bullshitters backing you up. All 71,000 of us. So you just go in, get that job, and you walk out a newly employed man. Let's see. Aerosmith. Yeah, my uncle loves Aerosmith. He is a huge fanatic of Aerosmith. Early Morning from Tokyo from Shin Godzilla soundtrack. If you're in the mood for jazz, I am in the mood for jazz with a cup of coffee. You know, I've had an idea of doing a thing called the late shift. It's like Good Morning Pop Culture, but we would do it at night. Wouldn't get rid of Good Morning Pop Culture. It'd only be an hour. It'd be a nice, mellow show where we discuss stuff. But maybe down the road, we'll get some copyright-free jazz to play you in. Lord Chuckles. You made me laugh. DJD show, I will check the Patreon more. This is a rough week to try to contact us. Like I said, we've never done a live show together. So that on top of the Indiegogo, which, you know, there's just a bunch of shit I'm doing this week. I wanted to make sure. Another reason for the Indiegogo launch is because I didn't want it to, I wanted it to come out at the right time, give plenty of time for people to check it out, support it. Didn't want to step over anyone else's toes in the Comicsgate community. I thought it was the perfect time to get this out there. All the other Comicsgate projects have ended, and Rainbow Brute and all those other ones haven't started yet. So, you know, I just wanted to make sure we had all that stuff. Big Country, everything they made. I like In a Big Country by Big Country. It's a great song. Danger Zone, fantastic song. If I had the rights to play that, I would play that out every morning. Jazz Jeff sounds like proper Jeremy. Well, thank you guys very much for that. Pete says my favorite jazz album is Kind of Blue from Miles Davis. I know this is going to hurt your feelings, but every time I think of Miles Davis, I think of two things. Billy Madison, if pee in your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis. And then I think of 21 Jump Street, where they take the HFS drug and he goes, bam, spiked it. Fuck you, Miles Davis. And he jumps to the gong. That's my favorite part of that movie. That's my favorite part of that whole movie. Meatloaf, Jazzy Jeff. Hey, I'm not a DJ, but I'll accept the name. All right, folks, I have got to get ready for this show. So thank you to everyone who has helped make Good Morning Pop Culture the success that it is. It's a perfect way to start the day, to listen, to work and lurk and get everything out there. And I guarantee you guys, before the end of the year's up and before you know it, we're going to have our Good Morning Pop Culture working and lurking mugs, as well as a myriad of other things. So thank you to everyone who supports the channel through here, through Patreon, everyone who watches the show. It makes me feel important. So thank you very much. And again, thank you to everyone who has been helping support Stealing Solo. Like I said, right now we are at $8,806, 44% of the goal in just 36 hours, maybe 37 hours. This is incredible. And there's so much time. It's not like this is, the end of it and I'm in that final stretch. You guys have come out in droves to support this. And all I can do is tell you thanks and guarantee you an entertaining story that you've never heard before. So thank you to everyone for that. And I will be back tomorrow with Good Morning Pop Culture. Don't forget, I will be back with Good Morning Pop Culture. And I might even do a live stream on the road just for the hell of it, so you guys can have some fun with us as we get ready for Horror Hound Indianapolis. So, oh man, good morning from Tasmania. Have a good one. I will, Peter Martin. You have an even better one. Thank you to everyone out there, and I'll catch you guys next time.